understand where X is coming from, but only 10% of X could figure out where Y was coming from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those darn behavioral studies and their consistency.
Yeah, right. Damn those repeatable behavioral studies that always come out with the same result.
That's the scariest part to me. Is when we see behavioral studies and it's like, this is way too consistent for my liking. Like people who will talk about like just following orders isn't a legit excuse, and yet every behavioral study ever shown has proven that when humans are interacting with an authority figure, someone they perceive to be an authority figure, just follow orders is hard coded into a lot of our genetics and brain wiring,
Well, I
whether
mean
we like it or not.
that's why I always laugh at people who are like, "Oh, the great man theory isn't real." It's like, bitch, yes it fucking is." Cuz
It's
it's just
almost like
like,
we were evolved to follow authority figures.
well, it's not even
The
evolved
benefit
to
of the
follow
tribe.
authority figures. It's
More like we selected for
On,
that.
on a
trait.
on a primal level, we like having an established hierarchy.
well,
Oh
well,
yes, absolutely,
yes,
100%.
but
Uh,
it's not. Those are byproduct effects of what the selection bias was, and the selection bias was, so you have a loner. Loner human. I mean, they're fairly dangerous, but like they're not that dangerous alone
Hello. What's not that
comparatively.
dangerous?
Usually they're not, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, comparatively, like it's one human versus bear. Well, the bear is probably fucking winning. The human's got a rock. The rock can do a lot, but you have to get real
Well,
fucking lucky.
to be fair, if this human's a fucking absolute unit, it's a draw in death.
Yeah,
But it's a draw nonetheless.
but that also means you're not reproducing. But the flip side is, so you have the loner. So it's not like the loner is being eliminated from the pool. It's just there's not going to be a lot of them because only a few get
And they
to
don't
reproduce.
propagate as far.
Yeah, they don't propagate
Yeah.
as far. They don't propagate as fast. They die out in large numbers. But then
Well, I
you
mean,
have the flip side.
If you've got more than one other person with them, they cease being a loner to begin with.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, no, if you have the wife and the kids there, like that's still a loner. You're effectively a loner still. Military speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then on
In
the
a
flip
tribal sense, I
side,
suppose
you
so.
have the people who are more willing to work under the orders and confidence of another person. And so now you have 30 humans. And 30 humans is a disproportionately more dangerous group than just 30 people, just in general, just in each individual person adds up to a greater sum when you get 30 humans together, because now
A group of 30
that's
is more dangerous than 30 loners.
yeah, like that becomes an issue now. Now there is a problem. One bear is looking at 30 humans and going, all right, I don't want to fuck with that. And so they end up reproducing more, and because there's more social situations going on, that means there's more social interactions going on of a certain variety. So they end up reproducing more. So it's not so much that they're seeking authority. It's more just the people who were more willing to listen ended up being in more social situations and surviving, which caused a bias towards singular authority figures or hierarchical authority figures in the populace. But yeah, so great man theory of just, hey, one guy comes along with a really good idea, or at least everyone thinks it's a pretty good idea. And, well, if they die, all of them are dead, so everyone that thought it was a good idea is dead, so don't gotta worry about that anymore. And if it was a good idea, well, they're all alive now, and probably we can greater numbers and pretty randy, so they're probably gonna reproduce a lot. Weird how that works.
Mm.
What the fuck did you just copy paste? A Freerun love story. Oh Jesus, what the fuck is this? AO3,
Emil's not.
Freerun,
Emil's not
Gate,
fiction.
Dragon Prince, Endro, Legend of Zelda, Musho Tensei, Land of Lettle, Dungeon Meshi, Morrowind, Konosuba, and Rosario Vampire?
What the?
Raven's love story with Dagoth
I was
Alright,
kind of following along until the last one.
Does-
You
does
are-
that sound like something
Whoever
she
you
would do?
are, you're banned from writing, the internet, and
From
procreation.
thinking,
Why is Dagoth listed as a Freerun relationship?
like, Freyrin would just genocide over half of those entire settings
Link,
by herself.
Yeah.
wait, Lalatina. Let's see what else we got in here.
She would find Lalatina funny.
Oh,
he's just reading off the character
okay,
list.
So that's all the
You know what?
yeah,
characters.
okay, this is just the character list. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Magic, comedy, violence,
Okay.
inappropriate magic, daddy kink, large cock, size, voyeurism, okay, lesbians, body modification. That sounds. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Vaginal sex. Why is that a tag? Why does that have to be a tag?
Well, obviously,
Because
Sneaky, they don't want to
AO3.
include all of the weird people that are doing that instead of having.
Oh yeah, we don't
all
want to
kinds
include all the weird
armpit
people. Just
sex.
ignore every tag around that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, not everybody enjoys armpits, okay? I guess some weirdos like it in the vajayjay.
Freerun's
don't they
love
know that everyone
story
has a
featuring
perfectly
Dagoth
usable ass?
includes comedy of other elves, sexual activities, and pairings. Freerun calls her elf group the Elite Elves.
So fucking dumb.
That's
Free Red,
not-
that's how you get elf racism.
Slice of life action
and?
comedy story with sex. Why is there 74 chapters? Why is it 262,000 words? Why
do you
is
think?
only 16 favorites and 14 16 likes and 16 follows and 14 favorites? Is that what it is? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Sneaky, in regards of bad ideas, it also runs into this issue. Bad ideas propagate over time because that's the way it was done before. True.
No, the same thing happens with good ideas. It just starting a good habit is harder than breaking a bad.
Well,
habit.
no, it's
Sometimes.
it's like this,
there's
right?
already
Wait,
a
So,
bad
Sign,
habit in
would you say
place.
that you're breaking the habit?
no, see, it's very much like this, right? You know, a bad idea that can propagate and not be a problem until way later down the line is something like using the same water to do all of your washing for the day, right? Like you only pull one tub of water and then any washing you have to do during that day, that's the same tub you use throughout the entire day. Right?
Yeah.
That is initially back when it could have been thought up because, you know, water would be hard to draw, hard to transport, etc. Understandable. If the idea carried into, say, the time period of cities, it becomes completely untenable. Because if you have that much stagnant, dirty water everywhere, you're gonna breed massive amounts of disease. So
Yeah.
initially, it is a
eggplant.
bad idea. Just to be clear, I'm not saying it's not a bad idea when you got 20 people in a village doing it. It's still a bad
It's just a
idea, but
workable idea.
well, it's not even a workable idea. It's a bad idea that is exponential in its scaling. So at first, the effects of the bad idea are barely noticeable. Maybe one family gets sick one day and that's it. You know, one family's sick a week or something. You know, like it's not that big of a deal. But then when you scale that into towns, and you scale that into cities, and you have that much dirty, stagnant water everywhere,
Oh yeah,
then
people are gonna die.
it becomes a massive problem because now when one family gets sick, it's not just that family. You can't just quarantine that family anymore. Now the entire apartment block is going to get sick. Now all the houses near them are going to get sick. All the food they're going to be touching is going to get sick, infected. And that's how
Yeah.
plagues happen. And so bad ideas that don't have appreciable negative effects until way down the line are going to propagate. Just like there is a vein. Artery or vein? Artery. There is an artery that is bad planning in the body. It goes from our heart up into our neck and then curves down to the lungs. It's a key artery. It's fucking hypercritical. Back when whatever species that is the core of all mammals developed that pathway, it was fine. But as the species diverged and some of the necks grew longer and the chests grew in a different way and the heart moved to a new location, that artery's pathway still followed the going up to the neck and then down into the lungs. Even though the lungs might now be next to the heart. And it would be just, quote unquote, easier and make more sense, biologically speaking, for it to just go in a straight line. It's still doing this giant curved path because there wasn't an environmental selection that was killing people with that curved artery. So it just kept propagating, even though it's a terrible fucking design for a lot of species. It's just not pressured enough to actually induce a change. Same thing for ideas. If the idea isn't pressured enough, even if it's a bad one, then it'll propagate. Yeah, like that too. Yeah. But so I had a customer today.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. I had a customer today who wanted me to call them. So I did. And when I called them, I got an AI answering bot. Oh, what's your name? What are you calling for? Blah, blah, blah. And then it comes back to me saying, they will not take your call at this time, and it hangs up. Doesn't bring me to voicemail. So I can't leave a message or anything. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, not my fucking problem. So I send them the, hey, I couldn't reach you. If you don't respond back, we're closing this ticket email. And so she calls back 2 hours later. Why didn't you leave me a voicemail? Your AI bot hung up on me. Well, you still should have tried. I couldn't. It hung up on me. Well,
you should have tried.
I mean, counterpoint. You should have answered the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
If you tell me to call you at a certain period of time, and I do, and then you don't answer the phone, that's not my fucking problem.
No.
Like, that's just like, what's your excuse for not picking up the phone then? Like, You can't leave a voicemail if the thing is programmed to hang up
Yeah.
instead of taking you to the voicemail box.
Yeah.
That's something to get mad at your boss for, not the
No,
IT
she set that
person
up
trying
personally.
to
That was
solve
her
your
phone.
problem.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that's
In
her
that
fault
case,
then.
Yeah.
then you're an
uh,
idiot.
Which,
in that
hence why
case,
she got so
take a
huffy
dunk
and
in a
puffy
toilet.
at me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just go take a dunk in a toilet, cool your head off.
Yeah, right. So then I had another guy today where he needed to sign into his email. And I'm like, okay, you got to put your password in here. It's the same, and they use Azure for computer login. So I'm like, it's the same password you use for your computer login. He's like, yeah, I don't know that. I'm like, okay, then we'll
Oh, this
reset
motherfucker
it.
uses face or finger, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Mother.
Of course.
So I reset the password. I put it in the notepad on his computer because God forbid I try and spell a word to people and they're that fucking illiterate. Yes, they are.
Mm.
So I give him the password, we put it in, and now, this being Microsoft, of course, it's like, hey, you don't have MFA on your account? Before you are allowed to sign in, you must put MFA on your account. And I'm like, okay, can you follow the instructions on screen? He says nothing. 5 minutes go by. 10 minutes go by. He's like, so, are you going to do it? I'm like, what? He's like, whatever you need to do to log in. I'm like, yeah, you need to do it. You need to follow the instructions on screen. What instructions? The ones on screen. What do they say? Oh my god. You have to download an app called Microsoft Authenticator. What's that? An authenticator app. What's that do? Lets you get into your program. Okay, fine.
It authenticates you.
Oh, I already have it downloaded. Of course you do. Okay. Can you scan this QR code? What's that? The thing on screen. How do I do that? Hit the add account button and hit scan QR code. Okay, I did that. Okay, you have to put the number in now. Where's that? On screen. Where? Right here. What's it say? Oh my god.
Is he blind?
I think he's illiterate, like actually illiterate.
So we finally confirm it. We finally get him in, confirm it. I was like, is there anything else I can help you with? He's like, nope. Thanks for the help. You've been as clear as mud. And then hangs up on me. I'm like, fuck you too, buddy. You fucking retard, illiterate piece of shit. Like, if you have my literal purpose is to assist you with technical issues. If you do not inform me you are having an issue, I cannot help you.
Don't you know you're supposed to be able to do all of that by, just guessing?
It would also be helpful if they can inform you ahead of time that they never cleared second grade reading level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would help immensely.
It is immensely painful, and I don't know what's worse. The fact that every single person that's had trouble with this shit so far has been an old person, or I don't know what's worse, that it's their age or their reading level, because I don't know.
Age. No, I will confirm that is 100% age. I've dealt with it a lot. It's once they get to a certain point. I get it now. I thought you were talking about a younger person. That you tell me this is an older person makes more sense.
Yeah.
So he did not want to look at the screen or read anything on the screen. He didn't want to do anything. He wanted you to do everything for him. And even something as simple as reading what's on the screen, that's a violation. He wants you to do everything. He does not want to put in any work. He called you to do it for him. And even
Well,
if
that's
you,
a bunch of tough shit because he has to put it all in.
yep, and that violates
Honestly,
what he wanted to do.
if you're too old to give a shit about taking care of this yourself, then you're old enough to retire.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
the
we had a
That's the
security
point I
someone
breach.
else
him.
let someone else who needs that job get that job and go
Yeah.
fuck off to whatever beach paradise you've been planning for the last 50 plus years of your life.
Yeah, I'm just so fucking tired of it. You know, it's just like if I get it. Microsoft doesn't make shit simple. On a vast number of Microsoft stuff, they do not make shit simple. However, possibly one of the easiest, most clear, most simple to follow setups I have ever seen is how to add your account to an MFA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to be that simple.
They really do try to just walk you through that step by
Literal
step.
Yep.
hand-holding
They
the
dumbed it
entire
down.
time. It is
Yep.
the simplest shit in existence. All you need to do is to be able to fucking read. And there's not a single point, like even the on-screen pop-up that pops up on your phone says, look at your computer for the number.
Yeah.
Does indeed.
It's like
But
you need
again,
to scan the
they don't
QR
want to.
code, and like if you're too stupid to know what a QR code is, don't worry, it'll tell you what a QR code is.
Yeah.
In fact, it even shows you a handy little example.
Yeah, it's insane how easy it is, and it's just like I'm blown away how all of these people are just completely, I don't know what you're talking about. What's an app? How do I do this? It's like, why do you own a smartphone then? If you are not capable of operating a smartphone, why do you own one? If you are not capable of signing into your computer, why do you have one?
Status.
Oh, well, I need it. Oh, well, then fucking learn to use it.
Nope, they want you to do it. Because they're paying for your services. That means you're the wage slave, get to work wage slave.
I have no issue helping people if they run into a problem. I have no issue with that. The whole reason why I got into IT support is because I like helping people.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just said something completely alien and my brain must have fritzed. I could have sworn you said you got into IT because you enjoy helping people.
Yes. Have you not seen the fact that I've spent hundreds of hours with up-and-coming authors trying to help them for free?
Yeah, listen, Sneaky's an asshole, but he genuinely does like to help people. I've watched him attempt.
No, I'm not saying it's a thing on him. I'm saying nobody else in IT got into this to help people. We got in it for the money.
No, I know lots of people.
That is a fucking lie and a half. Get your boomer mentality out of the chat.
I was just saying, I know plenty of people who went into IT because they take satisfaction from helping people solve problems.
Yeah.
No, I like solving problems. I don't like helping people solve problems. Because then it's like trying to direct somebody how to play a video game over their shoulder.
Okay, but son, you got 3 people telling you plenty of people get into IT because they like to help people solve issues.
Sneaky is the guy screaming at boomers do not redeem.
No,
Sign.
You're the weird sign. You were the weird one here. The only people getting in IT for the money are people aiming oftentimes for C-suite positions or positions that keep them away
the
from
only people who get into IT for money are people who have had 52 different certificates and have been in the industry for 25 years and are now just coasting on the fact that they have so much paperwork behind them that they have to be paid like
can't be fired.
150K at any job.
Yeah, like
That
sign.
too.
I have an uncle. He has reached like C-suite managing a global company's entire IT stuff. Like he's the guy who sets up program rollouts.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what one of the first things he did was? He helped make the fucking iPass. Because he's like, there's gotta be a better way. In the year of our Lord, I'm not gonna specify an actual number because then
Yes.
people might be able to find out who he is. Because like, listen, he's one of many names on the project for the iPass. But in the
I mean,
year of
you've
our
already
Lord,
narrowed it down to sub 100 people, so good job on that.
It's
Yeah.
several hundred people. Just investigate
went from
every single
seven-
one of
we
them.
went- We went from 7 digits down to 3. Let's go.
Let's go.
listen, I'm not giving any other information about him. Other than to
Except for
say
the
that
fact
he's
that he
old
lived in.
and he
His
worked
address
at
is.
his height, weight, and
And here
dimensions
are
are.
some defining characteristics.
Yeah.
His
Link to his
name
Facebook
rhymes.
profile.
His name rhymes with.
Yeah. But no.
Nah,
It's
but-
it's just I have
yeah,
no problem helping
Yeah,
people.
he's like, there's gotta be a better way for tolls to work.
Well, yeah,
When
there
we
is.
have.
Yeah, there is.
Oh,
Always
there is, Adam. The better way is to yank them off the road once they've achieved their purpose. That's the better way. Because that shit paid for itself within 15 years, to my knowledge.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
understand,
but they want
Max.
more money.
No.
infinitely.
You guys don't understand the state of New Jersey and Illinois roads. You do not
Yeah.
understand.
No, I do.
Yeah, no.
I drove through them. The toll roads were very nice. I can only imagine how awful it would have been avoiding the tolls and adding 6 extra hours to my commute.
No. It's
Oh.
actually pretty easy to avoid tolls, at least. But anyway, right? And the reason he did that was because my uncle lived outside of Chicago, but commuted into Chicago.
Oh
And-
God.
Every day, right? He would see thousands of people collectively stuck as they had to try to figure out, right? They had to get exact change or throw a bunch of coins into the fucking bin and get on with their day. And it's like, no. We are in the age of the internet and email and credit card. We can do better.
We are in the we are in the age of data selling.
We weren't quite there yet, but yes, right?
No, we were. By the time iPass came around, we were at. And data selling started like probably mid-aughts, if we're being.
You're right. I should be more clear. Not to the horrendous extent that it is now.
Yeah, also, by the way, it is worth pointing out, having to figure out your exact change when you run the same route every day, and 90% of the people go through those tolls do that same route every day, just tanked a little bit more what little faith I had left in humanity.
Oh
Right,
my
but
God,
it's
it
not
is
just.
so painful.
It's not.
You-
I mean, yes, but it's not just that,
You
right? It's
know,
having to carry that change, having to go
But
and make a task to get that change, like
but
the
you
amount of
know
human
you
time.
need it. You know you need it. You go to the grocery probably once a week or once every
And-
2 weeks.
And
So you know,
Max,
hey, give me $10 in change.
and Max, a majority of those people that have issues with understanding how much change they need to carry are the same sorts of people that would starve during the winter if they didn't have the village leader saying, "No, I'm going to beat you with this cane until you store food."
Yeah.
Sure.
Good. I see Japan is continuing their war against the payment processors. I wish them the best of luck because they're going to
Yeah.
Restores
succeed.
Let's hope they
monarchy.
do.
What kind of fucking wild domino chain is that? You know, from the domino meme of like the little tiny domino and the fucking giant slab in the background. It's like,
Restore the monarchy.
Feminism comes into prominence in Australia. Japanese monarchy restored, causing World War III.
I don't. You're
Ugh.
sitting there going, I believe these incidents are connected. However, I can't discount that.
Oh no, they are connected. Have you watched Rev's latest video? The one I.
You don't think he watches Rev?
Sign.
Okay.
I have no idea who
The
Rev is.
sarcasm clearly went over your head there.
I would say, I have no
It
idea
did,
who Rev
if
is,
there was
but yes, the sarcasm flew the fuck over Side's
Well,
head.
you see, he's a
if
boomer,
there was
so it
sarcasm, it
wasn't
went over my
effective
head.
on him. It's
He
like
also
Ghost and
doesn't.
normal
He also
type
doesn't have the reflexes
to catch it.
Yeah, he's too old for that now.
It went right over your head, boy. You're too slow. Couldn't catch it.
That boy isn't as sharp as a bag of bowling balls.
So, I don't know if you guys allow.
Are you dying?
No,
Oh,
just
He sounds
really bad allergies. Really, really bad allergies.
We
Um,
can hear it.
Yeah.
No. I got a review from this one guy, and I hadn't been paying attention to it. Because my co-writer handles the account over on AO3.
Yeah.
But one of my stories has attracted someone who I am 99% sure is writing their reviews with one hand. He has, for like 3 or 4 chapters, insisted, because it's the DXD fic, that not only is Aja, the blonde nun, been snuggled repeatedly, but that she's going to have to be killed. And
What?
I forgot for a little while how dark this shit can get. But I'm just
What?
saying, man, if you guys want, I can send a couple screenshots, but I don't know if that would be...
Sure. Yeah, just dump them into the
I mean, if we're
chat.
reading screenshots, I dropped some good ones.
Yeah, go ahead and drop those review screenshots. I can't fucking find them, and I can't be fucked to find them.
These are...
But,
is this like can't read them on stream levels of?
I mean, I'll just
No,
leave out whatever I
I'm
can't read
not
on
gonna
stream.
send that one. I'm not gonna send the can't read them on screen level one. Just I guess don't show the guy's name. I don't want to harass him.
I mean, I'm not gonna bring up the picture. I'm just gonna read it and only the parts that are speakable. I'll speak.
Yeah, I see why Sneaky has been so keen on not putting us back on track. By the way, I just peeked at the stream and the wheel has betrayed us more than usual.
What are you, afraid of a 3-letter word?
I'm afraid of a 3-letter acronym. Yes.
So I want to point out, this guy has left maybe about 15 or 20 comments in total, and all of them are worse than that. That's the least bad one, Sneaky.
Where's this link? Or you just
Okay.
Sneaky?
I sent a DM.
Worst, okay. At best,
No, now I gotta see this.
Like,
I'm pretty sure I've got messages.
wait,
with
okay,
you
straight up, dude is just sitting here fantasizing about rape. Like, he's just straight up, quite literally. So the initial comment is poorly worded, but altogether mostly innocent of... Basically, Asia goes missing in the chapter. He's responding with, Asia's gone missing. At best, she wandered off with some other random devil. At worst, Deodora's going to do unspeakable things to her, and she'll need to be killed so she can be saved. And then, as Alvar said, his partner goes, or maybe, hear me out here, you can keep reading and find out.
And I want to point out, I had to choose the least, let's say, least one-handed ones, because I didn't notice this, because I don't check those comments every day. They're hard to read.
And then he responds to the author saying, "I'm just joking around. I'm actually furiously masturbating at the idea of Asia being raped to death." Like, oh,
Why
okay.
why do you think we want that info?
Like this
No.
guy has had to share these thoughts repeatedly, and I'm just like, where is this coming from? This story has been barely touching PG-13 occasionally.
And like he just
And I'm
goes
just like-
on to describe this massive, completely improbable chain of events that would prevent Asia from being rescued, and she'll just have to be raped at that point.
And the thing is he ends it by saying he would be completely blindsided by the thing I have been broadcasting with a giant neon sign happening, which is Madame Aisha, who has a luck authority. If you haven't read Campione, that luck authority is just straight reality warping.
Yep.
I'm including her now because I'm going to have Issei fight her and lose hard. Not because he's not strong enough, but because reality literally bends over backwards to stop him.
Yes.
And then I'm going to have him go, wait, isn't that kind of bullshit? And then everybody else say, yes, that's why we call her the Destroyer. And that's why the devils are terrified of her. Because she will literally make them worship her until they are burned out of existence by the Campione's own divine energy. She is going to be a monster. And a monster.
So the only issue I have with that is it's not actually divine energy that burns out devils, it's specifically Big G.
It's just Big G?
Just Big G.
I might just have it be that it's her authorities doing shenanigans on their own again.
I mean, you can totally say just unfiltered raw divine energy is just burning them away in general like it would anyone else who isn't divine.
Gotcha.
But
see, I
specifically devils burning... No, because, I mean, the devils interact with gods all the time in DxD canon.
Gotcha. I thought it was just one of those things that was, like, mentioned early on and then fell off. Like, the whole they're vulnerable to light and stuff.
The only thing that was kind of mentioned early on and then was only really occasionally brought up as a gag was the whole saying God thing causes everyone to flinch.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Oh, it causes some pain.
But yeah, like, I want to explicitly point out this story has acknowledged certain things that are like really screwed up, but it in no way whatsoever has included anything on the level of characters being like raped into mind brain.
Yeah.
Like that's that
well,
would be
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you here.
Mm-hmm.
You posted on AO3.
Yeah.
Yep. You kind of get what you deserve.
So there is. I'm gonna bring this up off screen because holy fucking shit. I'm gonna bring this up off screen so everyone knows exactly what's going on here when I'm talking about this. So let me bring up archive off screen here. And then I will also
today, children.
bring up Ruby. I'll bring up
That's
Ruby here, and let's see, Ruby. Okay, so everyone can see that for English stories of any type, sorry, not Espanol, English. For English stories of any type is 31,000 stories on fanfiction.net. If you go over to archive here, right, and we go and type in fandoms, and we're looking for Ruby fandom, there is 42,000 stories on the Ruby fandom on archive. And so top let's see, we got here additional tags. Okay, here we go. Additional tags. The top most commonly used tags: 2,000 of them are fuda.
Love
2,000 oral sex. Let's see. We got 4,000 angst
Oh.
stories. 3,000 hurt comfort stories. And I wish we could see the full tag listings here, because this shit gets retarded in some of the disturbing shit that will show up as most common tags. Let's see, is there anything on the front page I can immediately point to as just being absolutely awful? Oh, Jesus Christ, that is absolutely awful in a completely different way.
Poor Sneaky, having to teach me a lesson and get a little bit more psychic damage.
There you go. If everyone else wants to enjoy that.
Oh God. Oh God, no. Wait, I
Yeah,
recognize that name.
That's
What the
Fate,
fuck?
Transformers, Ruby, Naruto, How to Train Your Dragon, Dragons, Star Wars, Marvel, and Guardians of the Galaxy mass crossover. Hopefully with a happier ending tag. Partially canon. Sure, buddy.
Not sure how you're getting partially canon out of that.
Actually, one thing I will say I have learned, I suppose you could say, from this show,
Yes,
is mass crossovers are impossible to do in a satisfying manner.
of course.
You just can't make it work.
No.
Yeah, the biggest issue with mass crossovers is you're never going to be able to pay enough attention to any one single crossover, and then on top of that, the next biggest issue, which is also part of the problem, is that you have powers that rapidly scale off each other. And you can get into exponential power issues very, very, very quickly, especially when you include something like Ruby in the mass crossover, because giving characters aura, like, oh, what if we gave, Spartan 117 aura? What happens there? Yeah,
The demon kills everybody.
indeed.
Honestly, the thing is there are two options with that. You could have it where it makes a very small difference. It's basically an overshield. But then all your Ruby readers are going to be pissy. And if you actually have it...
no, because I mean, it's the thing is, right, is it's clearly a strength modifier. It is blatantly, obviously a strength modifier. If you look at Ruby canon adjacent stuff where they show off like Nora and Yang's workout routines, they're benching like 1 ton.
Gotcha. So the
It's
thing is
ridiculous.
I fell out of Ruby very early on.
Oh no, I
was like,
understand.
hey, this is neat.
Yeah.
So
I gotcha.
you would say it's what? It's an effectively a 20 times peak human.
Honestly,
modifier.
I don't think it's a flat modifier rate. I think it once again is one of those things, because I mean, look at John. John supposedly has more aura than everyone else in Ruby, except for the fact that he is this weak floppy noodle who can't even kill things with his sword half the time. And so clearly, despite having more aura, that's not translating to more strength. And so I think
it's a
case of
booster.
potency, maybe it's a case of being used to it. Maybe the more you train and exercise with your aura, the better you get at using your aura to amplify your strength. And maybe the stronger you are at a baseline, the more you can amplify. I mean, we are given everything but the actual information we need for how this fucking thing works.
Gotcha. The thing is, though, is in that case, it's probably such a significant power boost that because the chief is supposed to struggle, it's just he's that committed and he'll go through literal hell to do his job. it invalidates most of the Chief's story.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on
So
where
it-
he's given aura, but I mean, I'm talking like, post Halo 3, Chief gets given aura, he becomes an unstoppable death machine. Like, more than he already was.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. The Chief really genuinely wasn't. He was a combination of luck, skill, experience, and tactical acumen.
Well,
he wasn't actually out here
Yes,
doom-dying
which
shit.
summarizes into unstoppable death machine.
Well, no, I think there's an important distinction, because if he was, in all situations, just doom-guying his way through things...
Quite literally, that is
really
canon.
Badass. What was that?
I said quite literally, as far as Halo is concerned, because the books basically canonize what precisely happened in the storyline.
Never mind.
As far as the books are concerned, yes, Master Chief effectively doom-guyed his way through the Covenant.
Well, I'm a little disappointed that's canon. I always liked the idea that no matter how badass the Chief was, he was fighting enemies that were of a level that necessitated that badassery. Just
they
to
are.
survive.
They are.
They
You
canonized
see
the
in
fact that
every...
Chief can punch a
Well,
banshee and
yeah.
send that fucker flying across the map.
No, they did not.
No,
They
they're
did
not.
Yes,
not.
they did. That's in one of the books.
No.
Which
No.
I
one?
forget which one.
Whoa! It came to me in a dream!
It came
I
to
was
me
saying,
in a
I'm gonna need
dream.
a source on that one, brother.
We're doing this again, huh, Sign?
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
really can't
I'll
help
drop
yourself,
it, but
can
I get
you?
your point. It's
No,
it's a goulash, and you
Well,
put too many
no,
ingredients in it, and it just turns to shit.
to be clear to the point, was it Halo First Contact? Was Halo First Contact the one where Chief they're doing a basically novelization
He's
of
not in
Halo
First
1?
Contact. First Contact is Harvest.
No, I'm talking about the book, Halo First Contact.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, the book Halo First Contact is about Harvest.
No, Halo Harvest is about Harvest.
There you go.
Wait.
Heaven and Shadows of Reach, and Master Chief has been punching through tank armor for decades
Oh.
at this point.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I forgot about Shadows of Reach. I read that book
Yeah.
and hated so much of it.
Yeah.
So you're saying Sign was what's the word I'm looking for? Begins with
Oh, Sign was
Hey,
totally correct.
Yeah, Sign was
You were
correct in
wrong.
this
That was
instance.
right.
In
I-
this singular instance, Sign was correct.
I think it's really sad that you think this hurts any of us to say that you're correct when you're correct.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
brother.
say
We're like,
I
oh
hurt
shit.
anybody.
But that's just it. We're like, oh shit. We were wrong.
Yeah.
We were
So,
super wrong.
anyway,
I gotta
No.
read this passage. Hang on.
I don't know. I found the passage. Someone helpfully linked a screenshot.
of course they did.
I would just say, can you?
Anyway, so the book that was the novelization of Halo 1. At the end of Halo 1's book,
Yeah.
Chief
that
did pretty much
description-
doomguy his way through a large portion of the Covenant, through the Flood, and he had a lot of close calls throughout the entire thing. And there was one moment where he is on the Pillar of Autumn as it's exploding, and he gets jumped by a single infection form, and it nearly kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I
are
just think-
weird instances like that.
But it's
Well,
not
no,
weird.
it's not weird. He was literally, he had been fighting for like, what, was it a week straight without rest?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
gotcha.
Chief,
Yeah, no, that
like,
makes
literally,
sense.
it was a moment where Chief gets through the door, and he's just like, holy shit. I am so tired. Holy fuck. And then at that
Oh,
moment,
shit,
an
there's
infection
another one.
form pops out, and he's like, oh shit, and he's too slow to stop it. And Cortana saves him by overloading his shield to emit a static shock, which pops the infection form before it can infect him.
Cortana, best AI.
No shit. Right. I
Wait.
remember not verbatim, right, but I remember one passage in First Contact, because I did get my. I admit, once again, I was wrong. I got the First Contact confused with Harvest because.
First
Ooh,
Contact
why would you
actually
name
isn't
it
the
that
first
way?
contact. Harvest is the first contact, but not the First Contact book.
Ooh.
Four.
Um.
before continuity.
It's because First Contact came out first, and then when they saw the popularity of the books,
But
Harvest came out.
anyway, right? I remember a passage from Halo First
Yeah.
Contact where it's about a specific moment that I actually recall pretty well from the game. It's when you've broken into High Charity the second time. And
In Halo 1?
yeah. High Charity. No. Fuck. What was the ship that you disabled? Not High Charity. My brain jumped straight to High Charity, but
Pillar of Autumn?
No. The Covenant ship.
Oh,
yeah, you board a Covenant ship during the night
yeah.
raid. Yeah.
And then you board it again to kill Keys because the ship's disabled and the flood are boarding it and blah. Nope. Hierophant. Nope. Hierophant's the thing that they have to blow up.
Right.
In the book that's after.
Yeah.
Halo.
I know what
I'm
ship you're talking about.
we all know what ship you're talking about, but go ahead, yeah.
Anyway, there's a specific part in there where it's talking about what's happening, and the thing that's happening, it's Chief is getting absolutely fucking swarmed by the flood.
Yeah.
Right? Just swarmed by them. And you're back in a corner, right? And it's the only... They bring up that corner because that's the safest place for you to go, because you can put your back to a wall. And the flood just keep coming and coming, and they keep getting within inches of the Chief. But they just can't get him because his storm of fire is too precise and too accurate and just too well aimed. And they just can't seem to get to him, right?
And meanwhile, everyone else is fucking dying or dead.
You're alone. You're completely alone at that point. Like...
Yeah. I know, but I'm more to the point I was saying of just like, oh, well, they're not that much of a threat. It's like, no, the point of the books is to show that Chief is actually that much of a badass in that everyone around him is dying to the same threats that he is usually, sometimes, barely scraping through killing.
Yeah.
I think
also,
you guys are.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Better.
I went back to the Banshee section. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah, Banshees.
Yes, Chief punches a Banshee. It's a Banshee where the pilot's dead or unconscious. And more importantly, what's happening is that he is punching an unpowered Banshee in the teeth to keep it from killing him. That's all that's happening there. Which, don't get me wrong.
So all he is doing is punching a car out of the way that's falling due to gravity, not speeding towards him intentionally.
Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not impressive, but it's not anything that we couldn't
But you're talking it down a bit, because the description ends with sent the craft spinning away across Reach's glass.
Yes. But that's just it. It's on a glass surface. It's unpowered. It's nothing that we don't see the player able to do, right? You can punch vehicles in the game and they will move, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Not
to be
a lot.
fair, you do have basically the equivalent of like a 1-ton force rating. So, I mean, it is understandable,
but yeah, I'm saying
again...
it's not like Chief punch vehicle goes spinning into the different distance because physics.
Right,
bug,
you know, a fucking stars and shining in the sky as the vehicle flies off again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to point this out. You said, Sneaky, you said a 1-ton force rating?
Yeah, something like that.
Is that lifting or...
So, the armor itself weighs about a ton, and then on top of that, it has to move that, so there's that.
Well, I was just saying, and remember, the armor is enhanced enough that a normal person could wear Mjolnir armor, and the Mjolnir armor would move itself.
Well,
so
if
the person wearing it wouldn't shatter their bones.
The kind of force you'd be turning out with that would... If you hit an
there's a non-Newtonian gel layer.
Target,
there's a non-Newtonian gel layer. They actually go really deep into the construction of the armor in the child section of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you hit a normal person with a full powered punch with that should literally put your fist through their chest. And out
And
the
you
back
do
you
that
run.
in the books several times.
Yeah, no.
It happens.
Yeah,
You should.
sign. That's actually acknowledged twice. Once, Chief without his suit accidentally beats a group of ODSTs to death. There's a guy you can see testing out Mjolnir in the super special snowflakes Oni base where they're making it. You actually see it. You remember that scene from Iron Man where Tony shows all the other countries testing their variants of Iron Man suits?
Yeah.
And it snaps the
It does
guy's
that
spine.
to the guy,
Yeah.
and the guy was an ODST, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
they
say
straight
what
up
happens is-
explicitly call out that the lined bones is the only thing that is like preventing the suit from the Mark II. To be clear, the Mark II suit from killing them.
Well, they don't really solve that problem even by the time they get to like Marks 8 and 9 because they have Spartan 4s. But yeah.
Yeah, but the tolerance levels were massively increased because the Spartan 4s were capable of using the suits without injury. And the Spartan 4s are way weaker than Spartan 2s.
No. You're thinking of 3s. To be clear, Spartan 4s are weaker than Spartan 2s. They are weaker than Spartan 2s.
But stronger than 3s.
However, they're stronger than 3. Like,
right,
it's not... Yeah, it's a weirdly sliding scale. Like, Spartan 4s could probably use Mjolnir armor. Like, Mark II.
Atin. The reason the Spartan 4s are stronger than 3s is because of their better gear. The Spartan 3 augmentations are different, but more intense. The Spartan 4s are less augmented, but much easier and safer to make.
Yes. However, they do still have, because again, with every generation of the Spartan program, starting with the Orion Project, where they had a group even smaller than the group of Spartan 2s.
Yeah,
right?
Because
And
the Orion Project was a volunteer.
Post your fucking reviews, you little shit.
Right, but the point is, with every successive generation of Spartan projects, they were able to expand the selection criteria to augment greater and greater segments of the population. That's part of the reason the Spartan 3 program was as successful as it was. Yes, absolutely. They had different augmentations and they had some cheaper augmentations. However,
if I remember correctly, wasn't the big thing that the Spartan 3s, it wasn't that they wanted to necessarily cheap out, it was that they were disposable tools, and intentionally so. So that's why
it was a combination of both. The fact was they were able to make them disposable because they were producing more, right? Colonel Ackerman's.
Well, not only that, it was the genetic treatments that they did to them were basically going to guarantee a bad end in like 10 to 15 years. And so they were more or less specifically like, they needed more Spartans, but they didn't have the ability to make more Spartan 2s because not only was the Spartan 2s restrictions on who can qualify for it so obscene, but also half of them washed out anyway.
Yeah.
And so they needed hundreds.
There was, I have the book in my room because it's the one that takes place on Onyx.
Yeah.
The Spartan with them, I think it was Keith, but I'm probably wrong. Kurt, thank you. Specifically okayed those bad in augments because he figured it would give them something like a 1% chance to survive rather than a 0% chance.
And to be clear, he was correct. But like I said, again, it's some of column A, some of column B. The Spartan 3s did get different augments. However, Spartan 3s were also fully capable of using Mjolnir armor, and we know that because Noble Team is almost, except for George, composed completely of Spartan 3s. June and George
I think is, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I like Noble Team. I liked Reach. It was a fun game. I think that was a little silly because it fudges the timeline in my mind of the 2s and 3s.
It does fudge the timeline a little bit, but at the same time, I can understand why they were like, okay, we basically have no Spartan 2s left. Chief is off doing his solo one-man war, and, we don't even know where the fuck he is half the time. We need more Spartans for a public image, and so it would make sense to retcon the Spartan 3s to be way earlier in the time period, because Chief, by the time of Reach,
Well, no,
was
and
one of the
remember-
last Spartan 2s.
I mean, they still had a fair number of Spartan 2s.
Yeah,
They
had
had like
a
2
full
squads
company.
left, which is not...
Really?
Yeah,
No, I
by the
thought they
time
had
of
more. Anyway,
Reach, it was
I-
like 2 squads.
I would say I'm not going into how many they had left. The point is, they did. It wasn't that much of a timeline fudge because
Yeah.
I think it was the first batch of 2s were getting, the first batch of 3s were getting rolled out as they were starting to really lose, right? They were starting to lose a lot of 2s, and they were like, okay, we need to get more of these guys here.
Yeah.
We need more of
And
these
we
guys
can't
here.
spend 15 years training them.
Yeah.
And one other thing about the 3s was because they were designed to be disposable, they had a greater tolerance for problems, both physiological and psychological. Because I remember that from the Onyx book.
Part of that, of course, was the extra bad end drugs. But yeah, again, it's just one of those things. Like, right? They showed that Spartan 3s were able to wear Mjolnir armor, and Spartan 4s got more or less the Spartan 2 program downsize, as opposed to the 3s who got
No,
the Spartan.
I thought
Spartan
it was
2 program.
I thought
Side
Buck
grade.
of all people was the one who tells you explicitly that they are less augmented and at base less effective than 2s, but because they have such advanced technology now, and they were a volunteer only, not a conscript only program.
No, it's not just that. Spartan 4s, anyone can turn into a Spartan 4 effectively. Like, you don't need to start at children anymore.
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
benefit.
it is basically a Spartan 2 light, and it was, in part, I believe, dedicated to the number of 3s they produced. They figured out what was causing the issues with the 3s, and they're like, okay, we can adapt most of these changes to a new generation of Spartans and increase the pool by a massive swath, and they don't need to be kids anymore, which means we can now recruit from people who are already trained.
Yeah.
And that also meant that the program didn't have to only be Oni Black Op type stuff, which meant they could be a lot more less grim dark about it.
Yeah. Hey, sign, post the fucking DMs, bitch.
Huh?
The DMs, post them.
What DMs?
The L4 DMs.
Oh, you mean the dude wanting
Yeah, I want to make fun of L4 again. Fuck that guy.
But
it
no,
wasn't L4, but it was somebody.
It was an L4 fanboy.
Yeah.
So anyway, Phoenix posted this Harry Potter story, which, Harry Potter and the Surprisingly Competent History of Magic Professor, and it's an AI cover book.
Okay, AI
no
cover
comment.
is whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. Cassian Rosier is a failure, a near squib, blah blah blah, mock dismissed, barely tolerated. Simple light spell becomes his last chance to prove himself. His world shatters. Because the Cassian they knew is gone, and oh, he got isekai'd! Oh, that's right, we got a self-insert isekai replacing him. He's got no magic, but a lifetime of teaching. Never bothered to read or watch Harry Potter, suddenly trapped in a body with a ruined reputation and no power. His goal is to survive, so he's forced to give a lecture on magic. Cassian bluffs his way through teaching the light spell, a spell he doesn't know.
Well, that's fucking dumb.
So I had to blow my nose. I mean,
You should be sorry.
it's like, okay, so here's the thing, right? With Harry Potter magic, we're in a really awkward spot. Because technically speaking, Harry Potter magic is vibes. It's vibe casting. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so true. Harry Potter magic is just vibe casting.
Actually, not
Not
even
wrong.
just from evidence. It's explicitly so in canon.
Yeah, I know.
There was... Shit, my brain is blanking now. I haven't read it in so long. But no, there was one character that just basically gets told, I think it was Neville, that you can do it, Neville, and he's able to now cast the Patronus. Despite the Patronus like being explicitly this super complicated, difficult to learn spell, but all of a sudden, all of the third years.
Well, no, so the reason why the Patronus was considered a super difficult spell to learn isn't because it had a lot of wand movements or needed a lot of magical understanding to cast. It was two things. It needed a lot of magical power to cast, and you needed to be able to focus on happy thoughts. Now, kids could focus on happy thoughts, mostly, but they didn't have the power to cast it. And adults had the power to cast it, but were really bad at thinking of happy thoughts, because a lot of adults are depressed.
Yes, ignore your trauma and think happy thoughts.
Think of all the fun times. No, stop getting sad.
I live in England. I have no happy thoughts.
Well, no, this is pre 2000 England, so.
No,
Okay,
listen, England is still depressing.
England. Yeah, I mean, no, not only is England still depressing, you got to keep in mind is that there was 2 generations of people in the magical world who went through purge wars.
On top of that, you have like the worst weather in the world, so
well,
you don't even have sunlight to cheer you up.
I mean, the weather is less of...
No, weather is actually a major impact on people's ability to be happy. Alaska's a huge problem with that. I mean, obviously, we all know the sun literally makes you happier. Literally, the sun makes you happier.
It's less of an issue for wizards because you can do things to artificially fuck with that weather.
Yes, but no. We're never really explicitly... Well, not only that, is we're also never really explicitly shown that the wizards were capable of casting a spell that could affect the weather. And the whole idea of
Don't they have that spell that's like nearly sunlight or whatever?
Yeah, but
Lumos.
No, it's not. Is it Lumos? I thought it was actually like some sort of like Solaris Flaris or some dumb shit.
Yeah, no, they had like something that's like
Lumos Maxima or something.
Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. The point is that yes, they do have a sunlight spell, but it's magical sunlight. It's not normal sunlight, and then on top of that, you have to maintain it with your wand, and it's really fucking bright because it's sunlight.
UV lights and
yeah, I would imagine. You know, I mean, actually, that's a really mixed bag. Would it actually tan you or not? I have no idea because again, it is magic. So again, if your intention is I just want light, then because it's vibe casting, you quite literally might just get light. You don't even get the photons. You just get the concept of light being imparted upon objects.
On the other hand, if you're thinking, I want sunlight, or, you know, your idea of light is the sun, then it might make...
Right, but even then, if you're not, like, trying to cause the radioactive process that is sunlight, then you're just going to get really bright light that is similar visual frequency to the sun.
Listen here, it's magic. I ain't got to explain shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless you actually know what you're asking for, the average person, when they think sunlight, they just think of this, like, whitish yellow light. Like, they don't think, oh, the radiation given off by the sun that my body can metabolize into vitamin D.
Not just the radiation given off by the sun, but then filtered through the atmosphere. That part's kind of important.
Yeah, but my
Actually,
point
that would be hilarious.
The radiation beam.
Yeah.
What's the joke from Harley Quinn?
Cancerous
exposing
us.
Cancer gun.
Oh man. Just some firstie accidentally unleashes a solar flare. Well, think about the sun. Okay.
Not all
Yeah.
ultralights
Mighty,
stopped by the
what did
atmosphere.
you
Yeah,
do?
we know. That's why you burn.
Yeah, it would be especially bad for Muggleborns like Hermione, who know just enough science to be dangerous.
5th years were to be expected to cast Patronus. You know what else happens during 5th year? I mean, 5th year, that's like 16, so sex. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of happy memories happening at the same
man.
time as your power.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
so
think about
like I
that.
said, so point being, though, is that the
They
reason
had
why
to
it's
start.
a complex
They had to
spell...
start lying to people and tell them that the Patronus only generated animals because it started getting really awkward when half the class summoned Hermione Manger.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like your spirit animal or some shit. I don't fucking know. But anyway, point being, though, is that it was a complex spell, not because it required, and we do know that wand movements are canon, incantations are canon. It wasn't complicated because of all that. It was just a power hog, and you needed to keep a certain emotion steady in your
I will
mind.
say this: power, wand movements and incantations are canon up until the point of canon where they says, "Oh yeah, if you're good enough, you don't need any of that."
Well, yeah,
just,
that's what I'm saying. It's that's why it's vibe casting, and that's what I'm saying is I don't know if you could actually bluff your way through it or not, because while it is vibe casting, so technically speaking, someone who is not able to cast Lumos could engineer a thought process in people he's speaking to that when they go to cast Lumos, they are vibe casting on a high enough level that it works. Technically
Yep,
speaking,
good.
that is theoretically possible. However, it depends on who his audience is. If he's trying to explain to an adult how to cast Lumos and they successfully do it, that's one thing. But if his test was to explain to fellow children or to children, I don't know how fucking. I guess because he's an adult. I guess he's an adult and he's explaining to children how
fellow
to cast
children.
Lumos. I don't know if you could successfully explain the concepts of vibe casting to children.
But you don't need to explain it to children. If you simply write, Neville, think real hard about being happy and you can cast the happy spell.
Neville, think you're grand dying.
Jesus Christ, sign.
he'd honestly probably just panic himself into a heart attack if you told him.
Yeah, right.
That poor kid. I identified with him a little too much.
Yeah, but anyway, right? My point being that you, like you said, you could theoretically make the vibe cast vibe enough that, like, hey, do this, and you'll be able to make things happy. Like,
Right. But here's like the thing, right? Like, so you have, if you're explaining it to children, then obviously the adults are going to be in the room to grade you on your ability to explain to children, and then for their ability to cast the spell. Because what if the children can't cast the spell, but you properly explained it, right? Maybe you're
Well,
just like a bad teacher, or it's a bad batch of kids.
right.
Well,
Right.
honestly, you normally would just, when teaching young kids around the age of a first or second year, you just need to repeat a few times just to make sure. They will
Right,
latch
but a
onto different
novice
parts of the
teacher
lesson
might not know
randomly.
that, and again,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
basically
no,
doing
no,
like a
I'm-
job interview for being able to live or some shit. And so his test was apparently, according to this description here, being able to teach someone how to cast Lumos. And he's like, well, I don't know how to cast Lumos myself, but I managed to bluff my way into teaching someone how to do it. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're trying to teach kids how to cast Lumos, and you're explaining it wrong while there's an adult present in the room, they're gonna be like, hey, bro, you're just fucking vomiting bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Death. But if the adult's not in the room, it's like I don't know the circumstances that I would believably allow for someone to explain vibe casting to children, successfully get the children to cast the spell off of vibes alone, and also being wrong about how to cast spells. Unless
Honestly,
you accidentally guessed correctly how to cast spells, and then that's just an asshole.
I recall from several years ago at this point, Harry Potter SI that was actually really good because the dude was a squib like this, but he was so in love with magic that he had still like devoted his whole life to understanding every part of the theory of it.
Sure.
And I remember it was actually a really good one because it was basically not quite a fix-it fic, but very close to it.
Right.
But it was the character, and you could tell the author really enjoyed it. Like this was their childhood. They were
Sure.
reliving here. But they made it a point that having an understanding of the theory, even if that understanding of the theory eventually boiled down to yes, it literally just works, allowed him to figure out a lot of things, especially because he didn't have magic that wizards just sort of accepted. You could do that. I don't think that's the route this story is going. This story doesn't seem cogent enough to go that route. But I could buy it in that, okay, you don't have magic, but you've spent literal years or decades devouring every piece of knowledge you can. I could buy that, but that's also one of those things where you're telling a very specific kind of story, not a haha, look at me, I'm clever and outwitted the system.
I just read ahead, and it's the dumbest shit possible. So every possible solution all of us suggested here is wrong.
Really?
Yeah, because this is actually why it worked.
Does it turn out he actually has magic or some shit?
Something strange happens. As hundreds of people learn how to cast Lumos from his lecture, mastery over magic floods into his mind, and it happens again and again. Ancient versions of Lumos awaken within him, along with memories that don't belong to him. Some are benign, illuminating secrets of magic that have been long forgotten. Others are dark and dangerous, that makes him wonder if he has invited something into himself. Now, sent to Hogwarts as a professor, Cassian must juggle the expectations of his family, the suspicion of his teachers, and his own growing power, as every spell he teaches to students brings him the mastery of it, and the ancient past that might consume him. A slow burn, snarky power fantasy about an accidental professor who teaches magic too well and accidentally unlocks forgotten memories of ancient arts.
I can't think of anything worse than what you just said, Sneaky.
You're welcome.
Make it a splash
I
hit with
can.
Snake.
No, I can't. Gamer system on top of that.
I mean, effectively,
this is a gamer system.
I mean, it effectively is a
effectively.
gamer. It's like a fucking teacher and mentor system. Effectively, it's like, oh, you've taught 100 people this spell, mastery unlocked. Like that's what you can expect from my story: a lighthearted, snarky tone of Cassian's dry humor carrying the story.
He posts on Royal Road.
Yes.
Also, I'm sorry, I just gotta take a second. I finally managed to chunk through the word vomit that was presented to sign.
Oh yes, I know. We're gonna get to that.
Okay, we're gonna get there. But I'll say what I'm saying.
Teaching magic, making Cassian stronger. That's right. So literally teaching people. Literally, it is a mentor gamer system. Teaching people a spell makes his ability of the spell stronger. Yeah. Ancient spells with lingering memories.
And let me guess, he's
competent
getting
teacher.
stack overflowed because teaching increases his mastery, but he has zero mastery and zero skill. So obviously, for going from 0 to mastery must mean that you're a god.
Well, it's funny because he calls himself the Fanfiction God. That's his username. A slow burn romance with a single woman. Exploration of Hogwarts daily life from a professor's perspective. Content warnings, trigger warnings, mild swearing. Cassian has opinions. Family dysfunction. Canon prejudice. Occasional dark themes. Slow burn romance. Wait, why is that a content warning? Why is no harem a content warning?
Because we need a warning for that.
No gratuitous porn. Warning.
Well, I need a warning for
This
that.
story may contain sarcasm, accidental teaching incompetence, and romantic subplots. Drink with a side of tea.
Excuse you?
You know, this sounds like someone who's trying to be like the cool family member, but they're trying way too hard, and so it doesn't really come off right. That's what this feels like to me. It's like, oh, I'm your fun, snarky aunt. Haha, look at me. And then everyone just goes, yeah, you're 40 and you have 3 cats and no one will talk to you except on holidays.
You're the wine aunt.
I was gonna say, which is funny because I actually had the cool aunt. She always gave good presents. She played with Legos, even as a young
Every
adult.
single review is 5 stars.
No, power fantasies get that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's just. I think you just have a lot of people who live.
Well, Sign, you can take heart in knowing that this story is only in the top 2,000.
How high?
Also, I
is
like
the
how.
top 2,000?
By the way, I like how this idiot talks
Not
about
high
good
enough to get a
presents
better reward than the top 2,000.
You love
So
how what,
it-
Matt?
The
Adam?
achievement
I was
only.
gonna say, I like
yeah.
how this idiot talks. Oh wait, sorry, we're not there yet, so I can't
Yeah.
bring that up. When we,
So the achievement list only displays the highest achievement of whatever the achievement is, and the highest
Yeah.
achievement it got was it's in the top 2,500. So it's
Wow.
it's probably between 2,000
Uh-huh.
and 2,500.
Yeah, that's. Ugh. They
So
keep talking
you're
about
you're crushing it.
story,
Don't worry, Sign. You're crushing it. It's okay. You're crushing it.
Like they dropped me to 35 last week. And
Damn.
it's only just climbing back up.
Damn.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, so we got this guy here. We got this guy here. This wonderful fan fictional individual who I'm not gonna read his entire fucking wall of text garbage because it's garbage. Let's just be clear here. It's garbage. It's just fucking. It's nonsensical garbage. I am gonna read his opener here of, hey, I've tried to send this to a bunch of different authors and no one seems interested in any of my ideas and I don't understand why. He proceeds to dump 5 of the dumbest fucking ideas in existence. And I'm not even going to go into why. So, by the way, they're all Gears of War ideas, which, by the way, does not cross over with Tanya well at all. Like, not even slightly.
Not all of them, but enough of them are Gears.
I mean, 4 of the 5 were Gears of War ideas for Tanya. The last one was a Ninja Turtles My Hero Academia idea, which is
I would
some
say
bullshit
Ninja Turtles,
idea.
My Hero Academia, which first of all, I gotta take a moment to take umbrage with this guy. Listen. He is correct. Last Ronin is an actually fantastic TMNT comic. Like, it is actively fantastic. The actual premise of it is that the turtles lost, and all of the turtles have been murdered, except for Raphael. And he's out to fucking kill Shredder.
Okay, fair, but
Like, it actually has some really good development for Raphael, and it explores a number of much darker themes. Like, it's a genuinely great TMNT comic. And it's about loss and grief and how you deal with that, and the death of close family members. Listen, actually fantastic. People should read The Last Ronin. So I'm upset that most people's first encounter with an excellent story is going to be this idiot's drivel tainting the notion of it.
Yeah. But anyway, so these Tanya ideas are dumber than you might think, right? So he starts off, he prefaces his Tanya ideas by listing a whole bunch of Tanya stories. And you might be thinking, oh, he's referencing multiple authors, right? No. All of the stories he references are all of L4's stories. And by the way, L4 is such a great name for this author, because he definitely is 4 L's. L4 is possibly one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever met, because unlike Quarterass, unlike Sakura Demon Alchemist, unlike Neon Zangetsu, unlike even fucking hell Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer, who at least admit what they are, at least basically have a brand that they're like, yeah, this is my brand, this is what I do. L4 lives in the copium valley of denial, where if you confront him about his stories, he's like, nuh-uh, no, they're good, nuh-uh, I'm accurate to lore, nuh-uh, you're wrong. Meanwhile, if you confront FTDS about his stuff, he'll be like, well, I'm going to cite a whole bunch of lore at you and say I'm right at the end. I'm going to be an obnoxious autistic prick and then just declare I'm right regardless of whether I'm right or not. Which, I mean, I can respect on some level. Doesn't mean I'm going to like the guy.
The king of the tism is still a king, even if he is a king of the
king of the shit pile is still king.
Actually, I have a small question here, though.
Sure.
Why? Okay, I understand. It was Yojo Senki or whatever. The Saga of Tanya is
Tanya.
Primarily geopolitics, sort of historical anime fiction with very specific genres.
And the author really likes economics.
Yeah. He's not perfect at everything.
I would say, let's be clear, he really likes the best economics, the Chicago School of Economics.
Gears of War is primarily manly men doing manly things. Isn't that sort of just fundamentally at odds a genre clash there?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, now to be fair, it also includes very manly women doing very manly things. Like,
no, I've played all the games. Well, most of the games, not all of them. The
majority.
In the first game, the blonde woman whose name I can't remember, she has a waist about as big around as the freaking one dude's bicep. Which, is normal human sized, actually. Those dudes have some massive effing biceps. But
walking slabs of meat, yes.
I don't see the conjunction points there. I don't see where
Well, don't worry, it's about to get worse.
Okay.
But wait, there's more!
It always gets worse.
So anyway, he quotes a whole shit ton of L4's fics, which, by the way, all of them are wrong. L4 gets all of his lore wrong on everything he does. So it's not just like he gets the Tanya lore wrong or just gets the Star Wars lore wrong. No. When he makes a Star Wars Tanya story, he gets both the Tanya lore wrong and the Star Wars lore wrong. When he makes a Ruby story, he gets the Ruby lore wrong and the Tanya lore wrong. When he does Warhammer 40K, he gets the Tanya lore wrong and the 40K lore wrong, and when you confront him about any of this, he goes, no, you're wrong. I don't need sources. I know I'm right.
I think my personal favorite is he talks about Princess of Mandalore, which I read a few chapters of that.
We all read that. It was dog shit.
I would say, absolute dribble. Made me deeply upset. And Sign, you should just be like, hey, if you liked Princess of Mandalore, you should read an actually good Tanya Star Wars story.
Woo! Here's mine.
No, what you should have posted at him is, if you enjoyed Princess of Mandalore, can I interest you in an author more your style, Fairy Tale Dragon Slayer?
Oh man. I guess
and-
Hey, still.
I mean,
better
honestly,
than
the most offensive one is Saga of the Run. Possibly the most offensive of all of L4's stories. And you might be asking, why? Because Saga of the Run is a 30k Warhammer story in which Tanya is still Tanya-shaped, but she's the Primarch of the Space Marines.
Which is
just all the Space Marines.
Yes.
Okay. That should have been a parody.
Yes, it should have.
See,
It
I'm
wasn't.
okay with
Because
Argura being one of the
that
canonical missing
sounds-
time marks because that's hilarious and adorable.
It's a shitpost. Yeah, no,
it's
it's
a
100% a
stupid joke.
shitpost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That should have been a shit
No,
post.
Yeah, no, this was not done as parody. This was not done as humor. This was done completely seriously, and if you confront him on any of the numerous reasons why Tanya would not be Tanya-shaped still, while also being a Primarch of all the Space Marines, then he freaks the fuck out.
you know what would be hilarious? Take Tanya's head, but put it on like Lehman Russ's body or some shit.
But no, so
Yeah, that works too.
this reader here is actually further stupid than even that.
No.
Never.
So he says, he slips in a little thing here. This story ideas start with, instead of Tanya being born into World War I, being Y shows up and blocks being X and reincarnates Tanya instead into the Gears of War universe.
So fucking dumb.
Before World War I. This is not Tanya.
Yes.
This is Salaryman.
Yeah,
He
but
He
don't make a
wants to put
distinction.
Tanya into a series in where they're not Tanya and they never were Tanya.
But question: wasn't the Salaryman just like a normal dude? I'm not like trying to shit on
Yeah,
him or
no,
anything.
no.
Salaryman was
He's a massive
sociopathic.
overachiever. That too.
Yes, he is a massive overachiever. No, to be clear, though, he was a massive overachiever due to the backstory given, which was that his parents were Asian parents and were like, you have to be a master of the piano, and you have to be a master of this, and you have to
Yup.
be like this, and you have to get straight A's, and also you
And
have
he
to be on a
was
sports
always
team.
second best, which it was a second best is first loser kind of thing.
Yeah. And so he's sociopathic, autistic, highly competent, but that's it. He's not talented. He is competent. And that's why he's always second best. Is he has the drive, or not so much the drive, the focus to practice something until he's really good at it. But he'll never be able to beat someone who is both good at it and also has his drive.
And talented.
So,
And,
he's proficient, but not a virtuoso. I got you.
Yeah.
Also, my
Now
lungs
there's
are
two
trying
of
to
them.
crawl out of my chest. So,
All good.
well, the thing is, though, is if you put someone like that in the Gears of War world, he's just sort of going to fall apart. Like, I'm not trying to be...
Well, not only
like,
that,
disrespectful to
he's
him.
just
It's
going to be a normal soldier. He's not going to accomplish anything
Also-
special.
all right, if you put Salaryman there, oh, it's Tanya, but it's Salaryman. He hasn't gone through everything that made him Tanya.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the grit, the determination. He is not the person who said, you know what? Fuck it, kamikaze. And tried to blow herself up to take out the enemy when she was given the assignment of stand there and die to hold him off a little longer. And that was right out of the fucking gate. Like, he wouldn't be that person yet.
Not only that, but like a large portion of Tanya's determination that makes her the character she is born out of the spite that Salaryman had for being X and their constant clashes. Because initially, Salaryman was, before Salaryman accepted being Tanya, Salaryman was aiming for the backline. They wanted a simple job, pushing papers. They didn't want to have anything to do with war. They didn't want to have anything to do with all the stuff going on. They didn't care. They didn't care who they had to... They cared who they had to fuck over only because that would hurt their chances at being sent to the backline with a cushy job. But
Alright, so
if they could fuck someone over and that wouldn't hurt their chances, they did.
they absolutely would. No, so a thing that a lot of people don't understand is the whole conflict with being X bullshit. That is entirely anime.
Yes.
Tanya, because outside in both the light novel and the manga continuity, outside of the initial encounter, being X doesn't actually directly fuck with.
Yes,
Tanya
but here's
ever
the
again.
thing, right? So it's twofold. First fold is that the anime was the last produced version of canon, and it's also the anime. And every time, in
Whatever,
nearly every single case, the anime is what everyone sees of a property. And visual novels and the light novels are the last ones, with manga taking the middle ground. In only like 2 anime cases have I ever heard of more people actually reading the manga than the anime. And in one case, I remember more people read the story than watched the anime. And more people watched that anime than read the manga because the manga never went anywhere. It got like 5 chapters out and then it got canceled.
The manga just has some nice art.
But because it's the last version of canon produced by the author, it wasn't like they sold off the rights and then someone else produced the Tanya anime. No, the author of the original Tanya story had direct hand in the anime, which means that that is his version of what he wants to be in the anime. I consider that the most canon, air quotes. So if someone wants to quote the book, I'll be like, yeah, sure, fine. It is still canon. Like, he's still writing the books. Like, it's not like he's saying, okay, I'm going to end the books because I started the manga canon. I'm going to end the manga because I started the anime canon. He's writing all 3 canons still. But it is the most recent.
Or technically also the web novel. Or
Does he still?
No, he finished. the
No,
novel,
he ended the
sorry.
web novel. He folded the web novel into the
Yeah.
light novel.
Oh no, he didn't fold them in so much as he finished one and then kind of edited it mostly to make.
I don't
the light
think he
novel.
edited it. I think he rewrote it. Like I said, like he
Something like that.
yeah, like anyway. Point being though is that he is still writing 3 parallel tracks of Tanya canon, so it's not like he ended one to start the other unless it's the web novel. But it is the most recent and it's the most watched. So if I would expect anyone to know Tanya canon, I would expect the canon they know to be the animes.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
I
that's
don't like it,
that's the most
but it
known and
makes
most popular.
sense.
yeah, and I'm not saying it's good, but I am saying that it is the Occam's razor of expectation.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, this guy wants the salaryman in these stories, but he also wants the salaryman to still be Tanya. He still wants the salaryman to be reincarnated as a small, blue-eyed blonde girl. Because they have to be, obviously. They're Tanya. Not understanding why they were reincarnated as a small orphan blue-eyed blonde-haired girl.
In the middle of a war.
The thing is, though, is there could be an interesting story there. You know, salaryman evolves differently. What if, you know,
Yeah, sure.
you
There
put him in
could
the
be.
Gears verse and you show him in the actual machinery of the cog, you know, how they were basically a fascist dystopia, show him excelling in that environment because it allows his worst traits to become valuable. but
Sure.
but you would have to commit to a totally different character in a totally different story.
Everyone would hate you. Everyone would be complaining every chapter you posted about how this isn't Tanya.
Oh, you're
not
fascist.
understanding. Well, no, it's not even about fascism. They would
definitely
be
Tanya.
posting about how, oh my God, it's not Tanya. It's not Tanya. Why did you make it not Tanya? And it's like, no, it is fucking Tanya, you fucking dipshit, you media illiterate retard.
Literal midwits.
But yeah, so they're just like, oh, she gets incarnated into the cog. Oh, what if she gets incarnated as a locust princess? Also, Visha is her human pet.
Oh,
I mean, to be fair, the Locust did do that, I think.
I'm aware they did. But the point still is, it's like, oh, what? Visha's here because fuck you!
No.
for
Because
some
fuck Visha.
reason.
Somehow, Visha returned.
God
fuck out.
damn it.
Get the fuck out.
I might just use that.
Not in Tanya, not in Star Wars, you're not.
You know what?
Let me rephrase that. If you use it purely as a one-off get, like if you make it clear to people this is an omake, this is not real, somehow Visha had returned, and then Visha has to Sith Visha fights Jedi Obi for Tanya's hand.
Somehow Visha returns.
Visha returns.
No, somehow Visha returns with coffee and donuts.
And so, like in Hell Came With Her.
Visha went out to get coffee and came back to another universe.
Literally, she's still wearing
what
the
it
same
was.
uniform from the Rhine and everything.
True.
Yes.
No idea.
She made it herself.
Yeah, she just had an urge.
And made it.
Overwhelming urge to make this exact uniform and medals. No. But no, like in Hell Came With Her, I explicitly point out that her squad's souls were dragged down to hell with her. Intentionally. By the creature dragging her to hell. So it's like that's why these characters are going to show up in the future in that story. Because they were quite literally, explicitly dragged into the crossover. But there's so many crossover stories I've seen for Tanya where it's just like, oh yeah, Visha's just here. Yeah, she's actually a native of this world. Her name just happens to be Visha, even though her parents aren't fucking Russian in this world. Russian culture doesn't exist in this world. Yeah, she just happens to end up as the adjunct for whatever Tanya's doing, no matter what. And she also looks exactly like Visha, because fuck you. It's like, okay.
So, 2 questions.
Yeah.
I only half remember the light novel, but isn't Visha described in the light novel as sort of like being like very like dog-like, very very loyal, very faithful, sort of.
Yes.
You could even tie that into the story itself of, hey, why is Visha here? Oh, she made a pact with something that she shouldn't have made a pact with. Here are going to be consequences.
Hand-ass
you could do
wavium.
stuff with that. What was that?
Hand-ass wavium.
Yeah. You could do stuff with that, but simply reincarnating a character without context means you're missing
it's not only that, but I'm sure this is going to be a very familiar refrain with what I'm about to say. I'm sure it might cut you a little bit there, Alvor. Anyone who's written a story and where they try to include multiple characters from one property crossing over into another property very quickly find themselves bogged down in all of the characters having their own little storylines.
Yeah, which is why I just fully switched to this is going to be the cast for this arc. This is going to be the cast for next arc. Here are the reasons why people aren't involved.
And then you'll also get a lot of people complaining, oh, well, you included this character, why can't you include this character? This character's already shown up and has this plot line, why can't they have this plot line? And then you invite people bitching at you about it.
110%.
Yeah.
For just a slight example, my most recent chapter, I am doing the Tamamo no Me stuff that must inevitably be done.
That's a mistake.
No,
I think I have a very good answer to that. Because it's more for one character's psychological healing and grappling with what happened. Tamamo no Mae is going to come out of the seal as just a normal one-tailed fox. Slightly magical, nothing special about it. No one knows if she was even a person when she went in, if this is the result of being trapped in a pitch black void for almost 1,000 years, or what exactly happened. But it just comes out as a normal one-tailed fox. No waifu, no immediate harem bait, no poor broken trauma, no, oh, here's a villain you've got to fix with your dick. Just a fox, and no real
waste.
You say that, I already have too big of a cast. I'm keeping it small for a reason, or as small as I can for a reason. But for just a brief overview, I have 2 characters on a training arc. You
right there, buddy?
Yeah, he sounds like he died.
Sorry, just having a bit of a time.
Did you have a seizure there or something?
No, just mute.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Thank you. I have 2 characters on their own completely separate storyline that's obviously going to eventually merge back into the main plot, but until they're doing that, they are mostly off screen. I have 2 characters just who flat out don't like other characters in the main party at the moment, so they're not involved with this stuff. And that's another thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to let characters say, no, I don't really want to help with X because Y person is there. And I'm trying to let them do that without either making them a dick or making it seem like, oh, well, why can't you just get along? I'm trying to let them be...
Why can't you get along? Why can't you just bury the children?
No.
He's kind of salty about that.
Bro, it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard someone uttered out of their mouth.
No, the secret to large casts is not actually having a large cast for this part of the plot.
Secret to large... Yeah, I know, right? You know, maybe Sign should be taking notes here, Sign. Sign, do you think you should be taking notes here? I think you should be taking notes here.
And I will say this. This actually does let you accomplish a lot. My cough is spreading to Sneaky now.
Oh, please. If anything, you've gotten it from me.
No.
The black mold that lives in Sneaky's lungs and brain and really just all of him.
Yes, indeed.
And poor Gray. Jesus have mercy.
Yeah, well, you know.
No, but before I get on to grim stuff, no. Like, for example, in DxD canon, Gasper Vladi does his whole VTuber anime thing where he streams and stuff. Like, that's something I've mentioned that, oh, hey, Issei pops up on his stream sometimes, and that's how the 2 of them keep speaking to one another while Gasper's down in the underworld, because I had Rias get smacked in the head with a Euro piece of crap bat, and your entire family is going to get killed if you don't get stronger.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
And so, like, those are small bits of canon you can take and use to then show that these people are building a relationship that, just because it's not on screen, doesn't mean they aren't staying in touch.
Sure.
Also, people have cell phones. You can talk.
What? No, you're breaking the rule! Alvor! Everyone knows you don't have cell phones in anime and manga.
You can't just talk on a cell
People
phone.
can't just call each other and work out their problems?
You can't just communicate.
Oh, no. I think my favorite use of that so far is I had one of the characters, Zenobia. I explicitly mentioned that the only cell phone she can manage to keep from breaking is Nokia. And the thing is basically a holy relic at this point.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Like,
I would say, that's true. Harry Dresden never tried using a Nokia.
He should have.
They made that a point in a young vampire's cohabitation, which was hilarious.
Is that still going, or is that dead?
No.
That
That's finished.
Oh, really? Wait,
Honestly, I thought
finished?
they picked a
Damn.
pretty good spot to cap it off. Because they explicitly prevent Harry from ever becoming the Winter Knight.
No, fair enough.
I mean,
Which
it's
obviously-
implied it would have happened, right?
No,
But anyway,
because
so
his spine doesn't get broken. No, I'm sorry. The events that would lead to his spine getting broken can't happen because a bunch of stuff changes with the White Court. And a bunch of stuff changes with the Red Court. Like the stuff that leads to Harry being in a position where he is desperate enough and broken enough and lonely enough, they just won't line up anymore because he's too busy banging Tanya.
I can't wait for the long-awaited Inuyasha story in the feudal era with my smartphone.
In the feudal era with my smartphone.
Phoenix, I will hurt you for that.
Man,
I don't
fuck
know how,
you,
but I
Pencil.
will hurt you.
But anyway, yeah, so
Here's the
his
counterpoint.
final idea is, if you thought his Tanya ideas were fucking retarded, his final idea for TMNT and MHA crossing over, it's even dumber than anything he could have come up for Tanya. Besides maybe, I guess, pet human Visha, that was a little bit much.
Cringe.
What if Raphael reincarnates into Katsuki Bakugo
No.
Yuck.
after his brutal fight with Karai? And he stabs her in the back and she never wakes up from a coma. What?
So, no, like, the point of Raphael's character isn't just that he's a big, loud, violent guy. He has a chip on his shoulder because he sees how shit the world is, and also because he's arguably one of the least talented of his brothers. He feels insecure. He's always pushing himself, but he's not as skilled as their leader. He's not as smart as their tech specialist, and he's just not as well liked as Mikey. So he has an entirely different framework for why he's angry than Bakugo does, which in Bakugo's case, I think, is just a combination of societal pressures and innate sociopathy.
Also enabling. A lot of
It's the second
enabling.
one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Raphael remembers everything after he is reincarnated. He's still a hothead, but he's not a bully, and instead abuses Izuku to train him.
Yeah.
No.
That's more.
Raphael does not abuse his siblings. Yeah, he can get physical with them, but they're literally Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
by the
siblings fight all
time
the time.
Izuku gets to the All Might quirk,
No.
Bro.
No.
I don't believe that's what it's called.
Bro. That is, come
Bro.
on.
Bro.
Anyway.
I wish I had
gets
a
the
soundboard
All Might quirk,
right now.
he's in a better position to withstand it. Katsuki gets his explosion quirk and doesn't let all the praise get to his head because he remembers his dead friends. Katsuki still likes eating pizza, and his costume is going to be a combination of hero clothes and all of the gear from when he was a Ronin. And maybe he'll use a sai as well because of something or whatever. And his hero name could be Wrath because it's similar to Wrath. And it's like, that's like his personality is Wrath, right?
No, in the last Ronin, I would say it was more self-loathing, regrets, and a sense of abiding failure.
Oh my god, someone else who read Last Ronin, thank God, that can tell people that, yes, it's actually very good and people should read it. Please don't let this absolute moron taint it.
I read the entire thing, and then I said in Sign Server, I fucking hate tourists. It's like, look,
As one should.
I'm aware I'm a tourist to pretty much every single franchise. I don't spend a lot of time on any franchise these days. I both don't have the time, and I don't really care enough anymore to be a dedicated fan of something. Like, if it comes out and it's good, I'll enjoy it, and then I'll move on. I'm not going to sit there, and if I see good fan art, I'll save it. But I'm not going to fucking sit in some, Freerun Discord server and spend every waking hour talking about Freerun and anime like Freerun, inspirations for Freerun, other people's opinions of Freerun, why they're wrong about Freerun, why I'm right about Freerun. Like, people make it their whole fucking personality these days, and if that's what it means to not be a tourist, as I didn't make it my personality, then I'm a fucking tourist. But unlike most tourists, when I enter a space, I don't fucking pull my pants down and start shitting on the floor.
Yeah.
No, you normally aim higher. You like to get people in the face when you're flinging shit at them. Usually because they deserve it.
Sneaky, weird as it might sound, Sneaky's got a little too much class for that.
Nah, I will
No,
punch him in the face.
I was just under the impression that sometimes you're happy to go Hong Kong. You're an idiot. Double slap.
Oh, I will beclown people.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
only if they're clowns. Yeah, I will beclown
No,
someone.
Sneaky will do that in a heartbeat.
I will dub you a clown and then laugh.
Oh God, it's weird being at a point where I've been in a community longer than some people, but because like I share a common opinion,
Yeah,
I'm accused of being a tourist by association. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
I've been in this community for literally half my life. The fuck you mean?
Well, yeah, it's because you haven't molded your personality to be all about that thing. And it's not even molding your personality to be about all that thing. It's not molding your personality to be about what the group's expectation is being about all that thing.
That's the big one.
Yeah. Well,
So-
there's that. And there's
heard.
that in the fact that I haven't allowed certain parts of certain communities to gaslight me into accepting their nonsense to make their weird ideas more socially acceptable in certain circles. It's that too.
So yeah, no, like that happened to me in a Star Wars discussion I had maybe about a week ago.
Oh, yeah.
George Lucas was basically Alex Jones back in the day. The whole thing
Yes.
about the prequels is basically just
No, he
Alex
was.
Yeah, and I bring that up, and I even brought out the Alex Jones clips where he explains it.
Yeah.
And then I basically got told that was nothing but absolute right-wing cope.
It's a nothing burger right-wing cope. Yeah.
And I had a moment where I was like, but you guys watched the movie. That's literally what happened. Yes. So it's not cope. No, it's entirely cope. But you just agreed with me. That's literally what happened. It's cope. And I think I blue screened a little bit or some shit because I couldn't process what I was being told.
Well, you have to understand that much like the Patrick meme of "Is this your wallet?" that the people you're talking to are as intelligent as Patrick.
The thing is it wasn't even like an argument or a fight. It was just like everyone was calmly insisting on this.
Yes.
And it just wasn't.
Yeah.
And the thing is that's one of the best parts about the prequels. That hey, yeah, this is a conspiracy, and if you know what's going to happen, and then you look at everything and you read the novelizations, you see all the pieces coming into place.
Yes.
You see all the
because they put them there for you to understand it. Yeah. It's not like you're fucking making a red thread corkboard in where you're taking completely disconnected scenes and putting them together to fuel some sort of greater God David conspiracy. No, you're quite literally taking the scenes that the authors intentionally put into the story to tell you this information and saying, hey, the author told us this information in this scene, and they're all going, no, he didn't.
And like even just simple stuff like how basically Palpatine was definitely grooming Anakin. You know, you know what Palps is going to do in the future. You watch the original movies and then you see that now. You see how every little thing seems way more ominous. Like I think it's in episode 1 where he
I
says
mean,
something.
before you even
Go ahead.
learn about Palpatine being an evil Sith, he was already ominous because he's an old fucking man hosting this girl queen that's basically his ruler, but also super naive. And he's like, "Oh, well, you should listen to all of my ideas because I have the best ideas, and you should just let me tell you everything." It's like,
Yeah.
but even if he wasn't some evil Sith, that's still fucking A, grooming, and B, creepy.
Creepy.
It's sketchy and condescending as hell. Like,
Yeah, whether he's evil or not, that's still wrong.
It's actually even worse. I forget what novel it is, but Plagueis and Sidious explicitly conspired to get her elected because she was an idealist. She was like a student politician.
Yes.
And Palpatine is like, oh, hey, I need to position myself so that I have someone I can use.
yeah,
Use a child.
Yes.
And
use
it's
the
just like
idealist child.
Yeah.
Use the child.
What? The ancient order of evil creatures were evil creatures? Oh no.
But yeah, no, I actually I appreciate that kind of thing.
What?
And
I'm not
It takes
shocked in the
effort.
slightest at this sudden lore reveal. I did not
What
know
a
about
reveal!
previously.
Yeah, what a
Yeah,
shocking
that makes
reveal.
Yeah.
sense. Especially because Lucas did a really good job in the movies of being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm so relieved you're okay, Padme," and her greeting him as if this was her adopted grandpa in episode
Well,
4.
I mean, not only that, but also, why did he think that she was in danger?
Well, obviously we know because he arranged it all, but
Well,
then you
yeah,
have all the
but
other-
that's my point. Is all as far as we're aware, all he knows is that they were late to show up.
And
Yeah.
then
He's a
he
senator. One of his contacts could have told him something.
Yeah,
That's
the thing is though
really
is
what
he
it
never
was, and
says that.
not
He
because he
never
arranged it.
Right.
he
One of his
never
contacts could have told him, but that's still weird for him to act on that information without informing them of it. Like, if he came up and said, "Oh, I'm so glad you're okay. Flight control told me your ship took damage." That's one thing. You explain where you're getting this knowledge from to ease the people you're telling that you have knowledge of them being attacked. Because it's really weird to anyone with intelligence. It's really weird if you get attacked, you show up at a place, and someone's like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you're safe," and it's just like, I didn't tell you I was in danger.
I haven't told anybody I was in danger.
Yeah.
In fact, the
Because-
Jedi.
Don't worry, everyone
I-
knew.
I'm pretty sure I'm not misremembering it, but up to that point, all everyone knew was that the CIS were being dickheads and blockading Naboo unfairly.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
wasn't even
Back on the
CIS. It was
sanctions,
the Trade Fed.
ostensibly.
It was the Trade Fed.
The Trade
Yeah.
Federation,
And the
but,
Trade
like,
Federation.
all they knew at
told
the time
everyone.
was they were just sanctioning them in an aggressive manner, but there was no boots on the ground being reported.
Yeah,
It's
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
oh, they're
no.
just being dickheads and cutting communication. No, actually, no, they
Which-
weren't cutting communication, were they?
no, they were.
They-
They,
no.
no, they explicitly were
they
cutting
were.
communication because
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
they
why
had.
they left
Remember,
in the
as
first
soon
place.
as they left
Yeah.
when they left the planet,
Yeah.
it was very, very hard for them to get transmissions from Naboo,
Yeah,
except
they were
for
jamming it. And I
yeah,
think
they were
in the
jamming
book
it,
they
except
also-
for the one transmission from the one guy where Qui-Gon is like, "This is a trap. You know this is a trap."
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're gonna spring a trap, but it's definitely a trap.
But yeah,
The
so anyway,
whole
point
blockade
being,
thing becomes even more obviously him just going for conquest when you know the lore of the fact that the Trade Federation basically controls Naboo's economy
yes,
because they have the space oil. They
Yep.
produce the space oil.
Mhm. And the Trade Federation also ships the space oil, has investment rights into the space oil, has refining.
Process it, they
on.
refine
they have
it,
full
all that shit.
vertical integration of space oil. Yeah.
Yes.
They do not train anybody from Naboo how to do any of the jobs on the space oil.
Yeah.
And I want to point out the Fetties were absolutely flawless when they first blockaded the planet. Overwhelming force, immediate close-in insertion, close air patrol up instantly. Like whoever told George this is how this should play out was definitely a military man. Like
I'm not surprised.
Like
yeah.
Peak carrier tactics and peak shock and awe.
Here's the thing. Star Wars has been surprisingly good about that. Like, I still remember that when they did Republic Commando, they brought in, like, a couple of, at least one, I think it might have been two, like, actual, like, Army Rangers. And they're like, okay, what do we do? Like, how do you stack 4 guys up to flashbang a room?
Right.
And the thing is that's so important for verisimilitude. When you play Republic Commando, obviously it's fantasy, but you can kind of sort of insert into the fantasy. You can believe the fantasy.
Yeah.
Sure.
And also, I still feel bad. The very first mission, there's that clone trooper in the dropship with you, and he just gets yoinked by a Geonosian.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor dude. And by the way, they did a great job of making the battle. That specific game did a great job of making the battle for Geonosis show you why they lost so many fucking clones and why it was so dangerous. Like,
hey, let's deploy an elite infantry formation directly into enemy entrenched heavy armor and anti-air weapons.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, there is a reason Mundy used the flamethrowers and started playing Fortunate Son in the background.
Oh,
also, there's a reason why they killed Mundy.
Yeah.
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 No. I would say, to circle this back to fan fiction,
Yes.
all of this is important because it reinforces the idea that a story has to be believable within its own premises.
Sure.
So you can't just, for example, take Raphael at the end of his character arc, having literally lost everything and everyone he loved. Literally everyone. I don't even think he's still able to see Casey and God, the reporter. My brain.
April.
Thank you,
April
O'Neil. I wanted to call her Colonel O'Neil, and I was like, Jesus Christ, no.
Oh my god,
Now
that'd
there's
be
a
way more
crossover.
interesting.
Hey,
That'd be way
Guys,
more
my
interesting.
uncle's coming to visit.
Oh no.
No.
O'Neil. Daniel.
That
why do we
oh, that would
turtles?
that would not end well, because one thing that Stargate always did interesting compared to other shows around the time, the heroes kill.
Oh, not just that. Not just that. Colonel O'Neil
fine.
is the D&D character that is the joke character. Like, Colonel O'Neil's the joke character that when the entire team is being pressured, he locks the fuck in and is like, actually, yeah, I'm like certified in so many ways to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, and the thing is
Special Forces at some point in his career?
Special Forces, air pilot.
No,
like there's gonna be that moment of like
Special Forces. He was
yeah,
an Air Force colonel. He was a pilot, but he had served with a number of intelligence units.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
He because I don't think the Air Force has conventional Special Forces infantry.
No, they do. Delta Force.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Oh yeah, Delta.
oh
Yeah, Delta.
god. You know what? Let's make this crossover better. My uncle's coming and he's bringing his friend, and that friend is Teal'c.
Oh,
The Foot Clan is about to not exist.
I mean, fucking O'Neil's gonna be like, whoa, you know turtles that can talk? Hey, is that pizza?
No, Delta
Meanwhile-
Force is U.S. Army.
Cool.
Meanwhile, don't forget that the turtles are gonna be like, "Whoa, an alien! That's so weird." Visibly,
And shows them the.
No, he's just black, guys.
Actually, you know what might be the funniest thing is they see like Krang the Conqueror or something, and the turtles are fighting them, and it's like, oh, the ninjas are all robots and shit. Oh, that makes this a lot easier. And Teal just walks out with a pair of LMGs and hip fires into the crowd of ninjas.
What do you mean robots? We aren't using the every bad guy as a robot. No.
That doesn't
They're
work with
human.
the Stargate crew. They absolutely are like,
No.
hey, listen, we believe in equal force for equal force.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
I'm just saying that they would react to like a lot of the tropes of the softer versions of TMNT with, oh, that means we can do whatever we need to, whatever we want.
You're telling me
They were
No,
already
that
able to do
I
whatever they wanted.
trained in 97 different ways to kill a man can now hurt you, and you won't die. Yes?
Yes.
I'm suddenly regretting this.
No,
yeah.
I would say SG-1 was as restrained as they could be within their context. I don't think they would.
Oh,
I mean,
you're right.
yeah.
But again, part of the reason was because, like, oh, we just can't show a lot of blood, but they absolutely shot to kill.
Yeah,
they
that's literally why
killed
they
a
had
shit ton of
the
people.
zap.
Yes,
Like,
they did.
They killed a
Let's
shit ton of people.
let's not forget, the movie ends with a nuke going off in a spaceship.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
don't
definitely.
forget the
Yes.
fact that the nuke was part of the initial First Contact package for a while, and where the
Yeah.
Harvey, they had a nuke on Harvey. So if anything ever happened to Harvey, they would just be like, "Oh, okay, boop."
Yeah. In fact, they decided to keep the First Contact package in the first 2 episodes of the TV series because continuity is important, and this, the species has already proven they are hostile to anything that is not themselves.
The most human First Contact package possible. Here's our history. Also, nuclear bomb.
No,
Yes.
I do appreciate that from the movie, that they chose O'Neill specifically because he was suicidal. That is some genuine military
Yes.
logic right there.
Yeah.
And I speaking of Stargate, I do miss that first season where you had more cultures than just Egyptian. I understand why it got narrowed down,
Yeah.
but
Well,
like,
I mean, yeah, they
That
just
one was
had
kind
to.
of it was kind of fun seeing them tackle that culture, be like, oh, and the question of like, were we influenced by them or were they influenced?
I
First
really
Contact?
did enjoy the whole ancient aliens. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't think they were trying to intentionally make fun of ancient aliens, but they were definitely poking fun at the ancient alien theory of just like, yeah, guys, actually they were ancient aliens. They were star gods, but actually they're just parasites.
Definitely, but it was still fun.
No,
And
yeah,
then
no,
for
they're
some
definitely still fun. Yeah,
For some reason, the Norse pantheon is like, oh, by the way,
it's
these
the
guys
Greys.
are like tier
And they're-
1.
they're
just
also
one
all
step.
naked.
They're just one step from tier 0 of the tech scale.
But yeah, O'Neill is great. O'Neill just has so many great lines, and he is unfazed by so much. But when you actually make O'Neill lock in, a lot of people die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, let me actually check that real quick, because there was something in O'Neill's backstory. Didn't he work with the CIA for a bit or something?
Yes.
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 So yeah,
oh,
no.
like I said,
he was definitely
O'Neill-
an intelligence agent.
Yeah, like I said, O'Neill
He
is literally
is-
the D&D joke character that, like, if you actually look at their backstory, what allowed them to be the joke character is they have, like, proficiency in every skill. Their backstory is like, yeah, they were with the CIA. They have connections with every special forces. They're an EOD specialist, and like all of these things that never really come up as they're being the joke character. And then something happens, and they're like, all right. So I jury rig a bomb.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
actually, it
no,
turns
no.
out-
They bring their own C4.
Reaches
I
into
know the
pants,
block of
pulls out
C4.
C4 block.
My
literally.
block of C4 has killed more starships than any other weapon system.
True.
No, I didn't know this, but apparently Richard Dean Anderson is the only reason SG-1 actually had the ensemble cast it did.
Really?
Apparently, he had personally requested that. So that's a cool bit of
Nice.
trivia.
That's a he made excellent
Wouldn't be
choices.
surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So he ended as a lieutenant general. He died a bunch and came back a bunch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just like this. Died.
And time
Wait.
traveled a bunch.
So yeah, he also comes from a long line of ancients that apparently like to bone humans. I
Yes.
love this part of his official background.
See, and what's funny is that he's not the Mary Sue character. That's Daniel who ascended,
Yeah.
then descended, then ascended again, then descended again, then partially ascended.
And then the ancients said, "Okay, you gotta knock that shit out, you little bitch."
Yeah, knock that shit off.
Enough.
If you ascend again, you're not going back, okay?
Just
Okay,
because
so he
you
wasn't
figured out how
special
to do
forces,
it.
He was airborne.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean
That's
that's
very different.
basically special forces.
That's
Basically.
the same fucking thing just
Um,
about.
And he operated. He fought the commies. That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You know, he's
fought
not
the
special
commies.
forces. He just jumps out of airplanes that are really high up, deep into enemy
know,
territory, and fights
And
alone
he kills a lot
with
of
limited
people and gets away
supplies.
with it.
Well, actually, the thing is that's very important to his backstory because that explains a lot of his joke skills. Like you
Yeah,
said,
that's what I'm
he's a
saying.
character.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It's
Yeah.
Like, where did you
literally
learn to
just
do all
playing-
this? I killed a lot of
he's
people to
literally
have
just
these
playing
skills.
MacGyver, but with a gun, okay?
Yes,
That is his character.
McGunver.
McGunver.
Pretty much. But yeah, no.
Okay,
I
that's
would
you know
say-
what? I'm keeping that. I'm taking that. I'm keeping it. My next D&D character is Maverick McGunver.
God damn it.
You can just call me mmm.
Uh,
That's the sound you're gonna be making a lot.
Actually, I guess SG-1 might wonder if the turtles were like mutated Unos or something at first, and then oh no, they're just mutated turtles. Okay, we've seen weirder. We can buy that. Just treat them completely normally.
Yeah, like I said, he would not be
simplicity's
phased
sake-
at all meeting them.
I
For
think
simplicity's sake,
they
go
would
with the
double take
multiverse.
once, and then it would be fine.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, for
Um,
simplicity, just go with the movie continuity. That'll
Yeah.
fix a lot of your problems.
Yeah.
Well,
but no.
the third movie that didn't happen.
I would say if you want to actually mesh
playing the horny
MHA
game. I want everyone to know Aura is playing the horny game.
No.
Which horny game?
Snowbreak.
If you wanted to mesh MHA and TMNT, don't do a self-insert. Literally have it be that the turtles are American heroes, and
Yeah,
Is
honestly,
there
like
just
you
a
are
lot-
missing like a amazing, like you don't even, yeah, like they're American heroes, and or they were visiting Japan. For whatever reason, they got lost. They're living in the sewers again because why not? It's funny.
they're
Japanese
heteromorph.
sewers are cleaner.
And, they speak the language, but they're obviously foreigners, and worse, they speak the language with an American accent. So
There's American mutated turtle people in our sewers. What?
and they're taking our jobs.
And they're vigilantes too. What?
They're taking our jobs.
I watched them fight 50 ninjas. Okay, you need to just stop taking drugs.
Actually, that reminds me that old '80s movie. I think the first one. Like, how do you explain that to people? Like, yeah, there's this old Japanese samurai dude who's training skater children as ninjas to fight literal anthropomorphic turtles that are like 7 feet tall.
Trained by a
Like-
rat sage.
Yeah, like
Mutant rat.
you're not even a cop. You're the paramedic who's responding to a bunch of Again, skater kits. Oh, they must have slipped and fallen. It must have been oh no, they got beat up by giant turtle people.
Yeah.
What?
And I saw them too. they were eating a pizza.
We have a gas leak on 5th Street.
Yeah. We need some paramedics. We're gonna bring him in for a drug test.
Concussion.
But yeah, no. The 80s/90s movies continuity would be the best to
Yeah.
cross over with just about anything. It's the simplest way to do it.
Well, I mean, not only that, I mean, because TMNT is TMNT, you can honestly just say, Trigger got dumped into the sewers in Japan in some attempt to cause mass mutation in the city, except the villains are stupid and they dumped it into the sewers instead of the water supply. And so instead, a bunch of turtles and a rat in the sewers got dosed with a shit ton of Trigger, which caused their latent quirks to manifest, because animals have quirks. Just a reminder. It's possible. Animals have quirks. Yes, they do. Yep.
Yeah, the little ferret thing was literally just a normal animal with an intelligence quirk.
Yep.
MHA went that
was like
fucking
heavily
stupid with it.
experimented on.
Yes, they did. So anyway,
Yeah, that's
since
what I
it's
thought.
canonly possible, just say, oh yeah, the Trigger mutated them and caused them to gain human forms, and then you can have a power for each of them based off of what they normally do in the show. So like, Donatello has a tech power.
Or well, he
So-
literally
It's so
like
fucking dumb.
Yes, it's dumb, but it is perfectly in line with TNT continuity, because that is literally how each TNT continuity begins, is insert city, and then for some reason some chemical was dumped into the sewers
Some
that caused them all to
mutagen gets
mutate.
dumped into the sewer.
Yeah. And it's a different
Yeah,
mutagen each
yeah.
time, and it's a different city each time, except for when they try to do the New York remakes. But there was other cities. And, I mean, I remember one show's continuity was that it wasn't even taking place in the city originally. It was some, fucking drainage ditch out in the rural area from a chemical factory. And then when they all mutated into turtle people, they moved to the city because they needed to hide somewhere, but they wouldn't be able to do that in a non-city area.
That's so fucking dumb. You'd be able to hide in the woods so much easier.
actually Casey and Knuckle Duster, the vigilante, they would get along really well.
Yes.
But also just cryptid TMNTs. Holy shit.
No, quite literally. So,
Yeah.
like, there's a bunch of different continuities you can work with, and you can even make your own because, much like Power Rangers, you can make a new generation. Like, you don't need to use previous generations. And,
Oh, hey guys, TGRI started over in Japan and they accidentally had another chemical spill, and guess what happened?
right, exactly. Like, it's so easy to include it that it's, once again, amazing how people continue to fuck it up. It's like all you have to do is take 2 steps forward and you have succeeded. And they're like, okay, backflip 90 degrees to the west. Got it. It's like, no. Why are you making this so complicated?
I think it's because it's easy to get caught up in your own ideas. I have that.
Oh
as a
no,
bad
no,
habit, too.
100%. It absolutely is. I mean, then that's what I've said for nearly 10 years now on this podcast is stop getting caught up in your idea. It's easier to write. It's easier to sell to someone. And I'm not even talking about for money. I'm just talking about as a reader, you translating the
get 'em to
idea
buy it.
to them, getting to buy into the idea. And it's easier to literally sell to people. It's easier to it's easier to manage in the long term. It's easier to reduce the amount of continuity you're running into. It lets you get more options available to you for what parts you want to use and what parts you don't want to use. There's at no point does it benefit you to ever just write the first idea that comes to your head. And now, to be fair, it also doesn't benefit you to revise it 90 million times and eventually try and make the perfect version, because you're never going to get the perfect version. You just have to
Yeah.
get to a version that is good enough, that makes the least amount of errors, and gives you the most room to work with.
Yeah, honestly, that's some of the best advice you've ever given me. And you give good advice.
I try.
So, I think part of it is you at this point, you in particular have consumed so many bad fics, you know
Yeah.
exactly what not to do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I've also consumed a lot of good fics, and I also was able to sit down and understand why I considered them good. like, as I said on Sign Server, and we had a whole fucking conversation about it a while ago on the podcast, in that someone posted a story, said it was good. I asked them why, and they're like, oh, because I think it is. It's like, okay, well, then it's not a good story.
yeah, fair enough. And that ability to actually offer a bit of reflective criticism is very important. Atin, actually, question for you. Would you say that when writing the turtles, is it better to start out with their more flanderized depictions and then develop them up so that people invest into them more easily? Or do you think it's better to try and simply make them more rounded from the get-go? What would you say, as having read the comics, usually works better at getting people invested that aren't continual comic readers? I read the original black and white TMNT comics where they will just flat out shank a bitch. Like, they were the Punisher, but turtles. And I'm not sure most people would actually like that.
I have some bad news for you. Atin left a while ago.
Oh, he shows that he's in the call.
Yeah, I know. He does that.
Yeah, he went to get food.
Yeah, he won't come back for at least another 30 minutes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But anyway, so yeah, just as everyone could see, the MHA story as I have up on screen is why I haven't really been trying to get us back on track of MHA. Because this is just MHA law of motion, discrimination against mutant quirks, systemic suppression, and rebellion. At the heart of all of this is some 15-year-old self-insert author, and he must make a painful choice. The status quo or living in ignorance. That's... Oh, sorry. Status quo and to live in ignorance. Or to tear it all down. It's not a difficult choice. The difficult choice is not whether to live in your false peace or to tear it all down. The difficult choice is, if you do tear it all down, what you have to do afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's great when you're getting yourself new free shoes. It's not so great 2 weeks later when all the toilet paper's gone and people are stabbing each other over what's left of the fresh food.
Yeah. And you also have to make some harsh choices of, well, what do you do with the people you overthrew? You're gonna throw them in jail? Yeah? You're gonna jail everyone that disagrees with you? Are you? You can have watch the jail.
No.
People that
You
agree
handle
with
the
you.
situation permanently.
Well, see, that's the thing, son. Even if you start setting up people's courts and start trying your political enemies, well, congratulations, your political enemies realize they have nothing left to lose, and now you're dealing with them fighting to the absolute death.
Well, not only that, now people get used to the idea of people's courts, and they start trying people for things that you didn't want to try people for, and neighbors start using the people's courts as a means of vengeance against the people they disliked, where they start fabricating the reasons that the mob should hate this person or that person, and then they start killing people just to take their property and stuff, because that happened in the past. That's called France.
And that's if you're lucky. They might just start fabricating things out of a fear, if they don't, that you're going to turn on them next.
Exactly.
And if everyone starts panicking, well...
Yep. So, it's...
Yeah, that...
So, yeah, people... So, this is how you can tell someone who is probably a child. I mean, let's click on here. Are they a child? Yes or no? Are they a child? They joined in 2022. They are a child. No, they're so let's see, they're 15 now. Yeah, they're 15. They're 15, 16 now. So they're 110% a child. Yeah. So one story, two favorites, one author. Yeah. No, they're a child. So they're a child or they're an alt account. Either way, this is someone who's never actually thought about what the hard choice is whether I stand up for what I believe in. No, that's not the hard choice. The hard choice is what happens after you stand up for what you believe in.
The thing is, in stories, you have a very simple and clear dichotomy. Fascism is both bad and obvious. You never have to sit there and go, oh, hey, the government is doing like literal Nazi things. It's
Yes.
obviously right to stop them.
Sure.
So you have very clearly delineated good and evil. You have very clearly delineated goals. Stop bad thing. And it's not even a case of, oh, hey, we just view things to be this way. It literally is, and it's obvious, and it's simple. Like, in MHA canon, the Quark Liberation Army literally formed when the Quirkless were rounding up and massacring people with quirks. Like, just flat out. They had a reason to form. And it's very, very, very simple. But in real life, like, okay, well, this law got passed, and I don't like this law. Well, who passed it? Oh, it was part of an omnibus bill. And there's 600 other parts of the bill. And it's 2,000 pages long. And also, it's not even a law. It's a regulation that was put into the bill by some mid-level bureaucrat. And it has all of these consequences, but all of these consequences were completely unintended. And it was supposed to do X, but now it's doing Y. Like, you can't just shoot someone and fix that problem. So, this is getting into a pet peeve of mine. I hate revolutionary LARPers. It bothers me so
I think
much.
this is the video. Yeah, this is the video. Here we go.
Yeah. What's the video?
Tim Pool made an original song 5 years ago called Will of the People. And it's actually a great song because the music video that accompanies it is quite literally him explaining to people what happens. Like, you think you're the revolutionary and you're putting an end to a clearly oppressive system. And the system is oppressive. As shown in the song, like the police are kicking in doors. They're shooting people. They're who are just doing nothing besides putting up posters. Like, that's all they're doing. They're not even violently revolting yet. They're just putting up posters in opposition to the government, and the police are killing them. And the story of the song is that the child, in each era, the child is hiding under the bed, watching the tyrannical government kill their parents for merely speaking truth against power. And so they end up then leading the revolution violently against the tyrannical government. Succeeding in overthrowing the tyrannical government, they execute the previous tyrannical leaders. But in the process, they then turn around and realize that now everyone has gotten a taste of power, and none of them are letting it go, and they're just replacing the tyrannical leaders with their own tyrants instead of actually making the system better.
And part of that is just necessary.
And then in the process... Yeah, in the process of consolidating power, they end up creating the next generation of revolutionaries, who then overthrow them. And then they create the next generation of revolutionaries, who overthrow them.
And the worst thing is each successive generation further legitimizes revolutionary force to achieve political power.
Exactly.
Meaning it's simply accepted now.
Yeah, and that's why it's called The Will of the People. And it's a great visuals. It's honestly a great song. You can definitely start fixing issues by shooting the bureaucrats responsible. I mean, yes and no. So the problem with that is the laws are still on the books. People are still going to follow a bunch of the stupid laws, and you have to change the culture. If you don't change the culture, you can shoot as many people as you want, and nothing will change.
See, the problem with bureaucrats isn't that they're bureaucrats. The problem with bureaucrats is that they are given tools that let them dictate to everyone else.
Yeah.
And you have to get rid of the tools. You have to take away the toys. Because the bureaucrats will always have that personality. They will have that mindset.
Yeah,
They
that's
will
what
be
a
those kinds of
bureaucrat.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the kind of person that becomes a bureaucrat is always going to try and legislate and control everything.
And
Because
I'm not
that's
even saying
just what
they're
they are.
bad. I want to make this clear. I
Oh,
have
they're
one
very
friend-
useful when you put them in the correct
Mhm.
positions and have them run the correct things. But again, much like the modern day economic system we're currently living in, where everyone gave power to accountants and told the accountants make the number go up. Well, the accountants have no fucking idea anything besides making number go up. And them in the process of making number go up, 50 million people died because we stole all their water. Oh well, number went up.
The thing is the accountants are doing exactly what they were told to do, and they are performing their function.
They're
It's
the
just their
fucking
function has
organic paperclip
consequences.
machine.
Like I have a friend who works in government healthcare, and he's the exact person you would expect. I say this, he's genuinely autistic. He
Yeah.
lives his rules by a very specific. He lives his life by very specific rules and a schedule. Like he has a daily routine he follows. He has all of his clothes picked out for the week. He has his shoes lined up for the week. Everything. And he's fine. He lives his life that way.
Yeah.
But he's also intelligent enough to go, yes, I know I'm a bit different. I'm happy like this. I don't want to force everyone else to be like this. And
Right,
that's why
right.
he and I can get along very well.
Those people
but,
are rare,
you know,
though. The self-aware
very much
part.
so. Very much so. But he is the exact kind of person that would be very happy if every aspect of life had a very simple set of rules. This is the correct choice in all situations, because he's very socially awkward. And he has to work very hard just to communicate with people in a non-bureaucratic, in a non-literal way.
Yeah.
So, when you have people like that who you can just silently slot into part of your civil administration that genuinely function extraordinarily well under this highly legalistic, highly regimented, highly specific lifestyle, and then you say, okay, yeah, by the way, here's a bunch of power. We don't actually know how much power this is, but within this bracket, you can make basically any rule or regulation you want. And yeah, we might be able to take it away, but it'll take us 2 to 5 years to even realize it and start the process
It's bad,
of removing
and then the process of removing it, and the process of moving everything off of it, and then people got used to it, and they don't really mind it being that way anymore. And
so yeah, and that's what happens when you scale that up by 1 million people, by 100 million,
Yeah. So it's definitely, it's just like, if you've never, and like I said, that's why the hard choice isn't whether to stand up for yourself or not. Like that's baby 15-year-old logic. Oh, do I stand up for myself or not? That's fucking child logic. That's not a philosophical fucking discussion. The answer is yes or no. Do you want your life to be easy? Then lick the fucking boot. If you don't want your life to be easy, then don't lick the fucking boot. Now, if you want to crush the boot, that's the hard choice, because that's going to make your life really hard if you choose to crush the boot.
It's going to kick first.
It's going to kick back at you, and there's a second boot.
I am friends of a friend who, because of what he did when he was younger, is actually very close to the current regime of Cambodia. As in, I have met Cambodian generals.
Interesting.
He used to do a lot of missionary work, and so he was coincidentally there during the genocide.
Yes.
And he and his missionary group, as a result of helping people get out of the country, all of a sudden were now friends with some of the most politically active Cambodian expats. And so that translates into a very weird situation where a dude who was a missionary for a Pentecostal church is now on like the first name basis with the entirety of the upper brass of an actual country.
Right.
but I got to very briefly speak with some of them. And one thing that was very interesting about that is that there was one man there, and he was, when he was younger, part of the Khmer Rouge. Why was he part of the Khmer Rouge?
Oh no.
Well, it's very simple. He had 8 siblings, including 2 sisters who were also pregnant, and their husbands were killed in the purge.
I see.
So he became a mid-level bureaucrat. He eventually defected to the Vietnamese, and he smuggled his family out when he could. And when asked, why did you join the Khmer Rouge? Well, it was simple. They had rice.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
And he would flat out, if you asked him, he didn't hide it. He did not bring this up. I did not ask him. It would not have been appropriate. But he did not hide that, yes, the Khmer Rouge was absolutely horrifically evil. I was part of that. I bear blame for that. I bear responsibility for that. He participated in some of the annual remembrances,
Yeah.
But he also flat out simply would say, and this is what he expressed some of the idea was, it was very simple. Did he want his family to starve or not?
Exactly.
And he was the only adult male left, so he made the only choice he could. They had rice. He joined the Khmer Rouge.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so when you have situations like that, and then you have to look at that person and say, well, you had an unquestionably good reason to join the bad people.
Yeah.
And then you did the bad things. But now you're saying you want to help do good things. How do you deal with that? In his case, he's a military official because he, again, defected to the Vietnamese. When the Vietnamese
using the
Cambodia.
his skills now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And when I say I met these people, I met them at a Cambodian American dinner I was invited to. And I was just going, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is like actual historical people. And then I sort of had the sobering moment of, oh, this is not the cool history. This is the sad history.
Right. Yeah.
But simply being around that kind of thing, seeing people who were revolutionaries, who did carry out those actions, it changes you.
Sure.
There was something in their eyes. Something in just the way they held themselves that was not like me.
It's not even. I mean, you'll see it in normal veterans too. I'm not saying like that they're. Well, I guess I'm trying to say like it's not that they're special. I mean, they did go through special circumstances compared to some other people of this era, but the aura is not unique. Yeah, you'll see that in veterans of Iraq. Was it Iraq?
Yeah, Iraq, Afghanistan, the Gulf War, which was in Qatar as well.
Yeah, because I mean, like I've heard some really fucked up stories. Like boys and girls being raped, and then the commander's like, "No, we can't do anything about it because, they're our local allies, or they tip us off whenever the Taliban rolls through." And and some of the stories ended well. They went out, they killed the guys anyway. They got reprimanded by base, moved to a new location because the locals were furious. And then, ultimately, years down the line of court proceedings to see what kind of official punishment they need to be handed, turns out that actually the guys that were tipping them off were also selling their information to the Taliban. So...
No, just a simple story. My stepfather told me, and he only told this story once, but one time when he was in Iraq, he and his unit, they were mechanics, were being sent out into the field to repair some helicopter that for whatever reason had to sit down, and there was a problem, and there was an IED along the way, and the only part of one of the mechanics that they found after the IED went off, because they were just in a Humvee,
Right.
was a chunk of his skin that had perfectly preserved his tattoo, his unit tattoo. And it was a pair of green Giants feet, because they were part of the Jolly Green Giants. I can't remember the actual unit number. And it was from his left ass cheek. And that was the biggest part of him they found.
Yeah, no, it fucks people up. I mean, yeah, and it's why I get very irritated at these fucking LARPers that go out in the streets and fucking block ambulances shouting nonsense, and it's fucking writing. It's like, yes, fan fiction's supposed to be fiction. Yes, fan fiction's supposed to be, your personal little fantasies. Yeah. I just get so fucking tired of power fantasies are power fantasies. They're the author's personal fantasy. And same thing with the harem fantasies. Same thing with the I can do this better fantasies, right? And so that they aren't always power and they aren't always harem. It's just the general gist of I can do this better, right? And those are the kind of fantasies that they're not there to answer a question. They're there to prove the author's point or just indulge in the author's fantasies. I hate philosophical fan fiction to a certain extent because more often than not, we get author is retarded. The author is retarded theme. Doing philosophical fan fiction. And there is nothing that pisses me off more in casual conversation than someone trying to get armchair philosophical and being wrong about it. Like you couldn't
It's not
even
even
get
just that they're wrong. It's they refuse to acknowledge that they could be wrong. Like the idea of being.
Well, no, it's not even could be wrong. It's like this, right? This is armchair casual philosophy. Oh, is it better to lick the boot or stand up for yourself? It's that's literal. That's baby's first philosophy. And
It's a question begging the answer. It's not actually posing something to you. It's going, I'm almost mocking you by asking such a simplistic question framed in such a manner.
Well, and it's not only that. It's like we all know because the way not only is it that it's the way it's framed. It's we all know the answer. Obviously, air quotes. It's better to stand up for yourself. But it's just like it's so much more complex than that. It is so much more complex than that. That you being mockingly retarded about this philosophical question, which you couldn't even word into a philosophical question in the first place, is offensive. It's like if someone came up to you and was like, we all know what 2 + 2 is, right? 3. It's like, it's like you are so fucking stupid.
And the thing is they're confident about it.
Yeah, they're confident. And this guy went on to write a 120K word story, 61 chapters. I mean, again, so 2K words per chapter. So this might be Chat GPT, guys. We might click on this, and this might be fucking Chat GPT. Nope, sorry, it's not Chat GPT. Author doesn't know how grammar works. So that's how we know it's not Chat GPT. The first sentence is incorrect in grammar.
Yes, natural stupidity strikes again.
It's just natural stupidity striking again, yeah. So now I say that, however, that might be their contribution to the story, and they got it wrong, and then the rest of it might be ChatGPT. I'm looking at it now. It looks like the rest of the story is correct grammar. So, and then there's little bits here and there that are wrong. So I honestly think this story is ChatGPT generated because it's under 2K words. And then they tried to put in their little human contributions that just make the story
a
worse.
little stinker.
Yeah.
And that's also a stinker.
Yeah, basically, this is what is this fucking chapter? This is like 500-word chapter, and it's like, oh, if you've been enjoying this so far, why not support the author at fucking banned link because the author is retarded and doesn't know FFN bans all links outside of FFN, and then HTTP www so indecisive, like.
Didn't Fanfiction ban all that stuff because people were actually sharing a lot of 18+ content?
Yes, they were saying shit like, go to my Twitter for the porn, go to my Tumblr for the porn, here's my Fanboxy for the porn, here's my Patreon account, I put porn on it.
Mm-hmm. So people just couldn't be trusted not to be dumb about it, and
well, yeah,
no,
I mean that's inevitable, but you know.
No, I think you can touch on philosophical ideas in stories. In fact, I'd say all good stories probably should at least try to say something, because if they're just words on the screen, then
obviously, sure, yeah, 110%. But I think the issue I have is when it's casual philosophy and it's like, can he rise up and be the hero he dreams of being? And it's like, just generic heroes 3-step arc. It's like, that's fine. I'm not angry at the author for doing the casual philosophy hero arc. Like, that's fine. My issue is when they make a fucking production out of it, and then they're wrong in both how they propose the philosophy and solve the philosophy.
Oh my gosh. I just had a thought, but I'm not sure if it's actually too real-world politics. I might type it out later.
Type it out, yeah. Type it out, and I'll respond. Chapter 1, hello. That's the story. That, by the way, here's another resident retard. Here's another king retard of Retard Mountain. They've posted one story. It's this story. They don't have a bio. They joined 2023, so they're probably 14 years old. The story's the name of the story is Chapter 1, hello, question mark.
Huh?
Are they trying to use it like a forum?
We won't know until they post Chapter 2.
That sounds like
That's,
it may be a like a test.
And the summary is, I have ended up in the series called My Hero Academia. I am inhabit a canonical, useless character from Class 1B who, with the right approach, could reach all might levels.
I can't think of any character from 1B that was actually useless. Like, 1B had a pretty solid power set.
Okay, wait, so Ningreki Shota. Known as Mines, okay, a vice class representative, okay.
Was he the guy that could just use, like, comic emoticon attacks?
He's a chubby, no, that's the robot dude. Personality, he's humble, vice president, he's reliable, doesn't hate class 1. Overall abilities, competent fighter who excels in one-on-one combat, and possesses good quirk handling. His quirk, Twin Impact, allows him to cause a attack he does to repeat a second time remotely, but with amplified force compared to the initial impact. He can exploit his quirk. Yeah, he can exploit his quirk for mobility, such as jumping higher or dashing faster by exploiting the impact on his foot. Okay, that's clever.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I'm just thinking that guy could just kick someone in the knee, and then while the other person is attempting to retaliate, oh, boom, yeah. I shattered your kneecap.
Yeah, literally. The more potency behind the base attack, the stronger the enhancement. Okay, so it's exponential, not logarithmic. Overall abilities make him a pivotal asset, where he can increase the singular attack of his comrades Wait. He can boost other people's attacks with that?
Okay, so he's just a
Apparently.
god tier support that can look after himself. Congratulations.
Jesus Christ. Collaboration attacks. There's only so much force he can produce on his own during the final round. Blah, blah, blah. Fresh picked hero. Okay,
Wait,
extremely intelligent, extremely competent, humble, friendly. Okay, so generally the guy is really good.
Chad.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Unironically Chad, yeah. So anyway, a useless character.
Holy shit, that's fucking harsh.
Who
I'm saying
could,
someone's an idiot.
if you could approach him correctly, he could reach All Might levels, but the character is too useless to do that on his own. I'm smarter than this character.
There was a horse girl that could just shoot laser beams out of her horns, right?
No, she
Yeah.
could shoot her horns.
Oh, just shoot the
No,
horns
she shot
themselves.
No.
she shoots
The other guy
laser
shot
beams.
lasers.
Well,
This
either
is
way,
the girl that shoots lasers.
Pony?
just have that guy stand next to her and then just double the effect of the horn blasts or whatever. Just pew boom, pew boom, pew boom. Congratulations, you just have a freaking artillery piece.
Pony's
like-
adorable, by the way.
Like, just-
Horn cannon. No, I'm not seeing any lasers. She's just shooting her horns.
Yep.
Okay, like
He
that's
just fires them for like machine guns. That's
I don't think it's the pony girl that shoots the lasers. You're thinking Pony Sue.
That's what I'm. Oh my god, that's literally what I said.
Fine.
It's not
Yeah,
the
no.
pony
No,
girl
you-
that shoots
no,
lasers.
you
It's
said-
the guy that shoots
Yeah.
lasers from his navel. I don't
freaking-
know why you thought I said the pony girl shoots lasers.
Hey,
It's-
Sneaky, shut the fuck
it's-
up and stop being retarded. Here you go.
no. I think I was the one who
That's not a pony!
that's not a pony.
That's not a. But that is the girl who shoots lasers. He said it was the pony. Alvor did. Not me.
Yes, I did. I was wrong.
Yes, and I
Right,
corrected
also,
him, and I said it's no, the pony doesn't
There's-
shoot lasers, and you, Sign, said no, she does.
Actually, you know what might be a really
Definitely
cool
thinking of
person he could
Mitchell.
tag team with? The guy Tetsu.
Yes.
He and
Yeah.
Tetsu
Tetsu,
could probably
Tetsu.
tag team really well.
Yeah, it
would.
yeah, you'd hit really hard.
Huh. Well, not just that. If I remember correctly, doesn't Red Riot and Tetsu they're like equally matched. But
Yes.
you know, if support guy could, all he has to do is amplify one attack once, and that gives his teammate the edge. That's a massive power multiplier amongst the average bulk. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you have people like Shoto, who's just like, hey, I could
I mean,
accidentally.
I'm just saying, oh, I set C4 off on you. Oh, I've just amplified the C4 explosion on you. Like,
Oh no.
I'm just
There you
saying, there is
go.
a force multiplier going on here. Hey, so the author completely starts off this story by shitting on a character we just established was humble, nice, well-liked, competent, intelligent, useless.
Dad. Wait, which character is he shitting on again?
Ningreki Shota.
Nin.
Ningreki Shota. I'll drop a link to their character sheet. Fuck off. Alright. So anyway, yeah, I mean he doesn't look great, but
Okay.
you know, apparently he's a well-liked character who's intelligent, tactical, humble,
and
and
actually pretty strong. First
gives a
Yeah.
lot of
He
effort
is
in and
liter-
strong. Yeah.
That is literally a fucking scouter.
Yes.
Honestly, no. Little dude looks like he's there to freaking rock out. If that
He
is
was
a
willing to
scouter,
throw
his
down.
costume is just super practical.
Yeah.
Looks like
goofy,
he's got.
but he will throw down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just,
Also, if you're a criminal and that dude kicks your ass, you're not gonna resist anymore.
it's
You have no. Your cred is gone.
your cred's gone, yeah. That's fair. It's difficult to become a hero without a quirk. Wait, so the story is called How a Quirkless Student Balanced Being a Hero and a Father. It's difficult being a hero without a quirk. I mean, comparatively, I guess, but no. I mean, we have police, we have firefighters, we have EMS. I mean,
Like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't want
those
to be
aren't
rude,
real
but
heroes in universe, Sneaky.
like,
no, he didn't. He said lowercase h.
Yeah.
what wasn't there a cop whose whole quirk was that he had like the head of a bloodhound, but he
Yes.
unironically was willing to fight legitimate terrorists, like muscular?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
no
Yes.
yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he just straight up was a normal dude, but he had a dog's head and was able to tell when people lied to him.
Yeah, like I mad props to Goodest Boy. I assume
Yeah.
is his name.
It should have been.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even really think you can criticize the normal police in the MHA universe as being anything other than suicidally brave, because
Yeah, pretty
they
much.
seem to be like mostly normal people.
Well,
But
keep in
most-
mind, again, the police and the MHA are still first responders.
God, imagine you're a first responder to Handy Job who's just teleporting around disintegrating people's faces, and
You're right.
you've got like your sidearm.
But yeah, it's just also this fucking massive amounts of shade that people just throw on cops and just every other fucking sacrificial profession. It's just like
Well,
I'm just getting really tired of it.
so the culture in universe is that if you're not a pro hero, you ain't shit. Which, yes, it absolutely shits on firefighters, police, EMS, etc.
No, dude. All Might literally says if you want to be a hero without a quirk, go be a police officer.
Yeah.
And then he later comes back and admits, yeah, he was kind of being a dick about that, being condescending.
He wasn't.
He wasn't. He just framed it poorly. It wasn't even condescending. The reason why he apologized for it in the end is because a child without a quirk was asking, expecting the answer to be yes, but when he answered honestly to the child, not degradingly, he was just, look, being a capital H hero is very dangerous and deadly. If you don't have a special way to protect yourself, you are going to be in more danger than everyone else around you, and you might be putting your fellow heroes in danger by needing to save you because you do not have an ability to protect yourself with. If you want to be a hero, go be a cop.
Yeah. Now, let's be clear. All Might definitely could have phrased
Explained
it
it way better.
much better.
And
But
that's my
nothing he
point,
said.
is that
Yeah.
he was answering the question honestly, but the problem is he was answering it to a child who doesn't understand the logic behind why All Might said no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when All Might tried to say you should go be a cop if you want to be a hero without a quirk, the child doesn't consider cops heroes.
And I think that's also something important to put in context, because for All Might, him being a hero is his framework is, yeah, natural disasters, large scale catastrophes. He's thinking, oh, what if like 1 million tons of rubble falls on a person? Well, if that person doesn't have a quirk, they're fucked.
They're fucked.
So it would have been massively irresponsible of him, from his point of view, to encourage a child who seemed to have no special drive, no special talents, no special abilities whatsoever.
Not even no special abilities. He was explicitly said, I don't have a quirk. But the child also had no physical capabilities. Like, it wasn't like the kid...
trained.
Yeah, it wasn't like the kid had muscle on him and was like, can I be a hero still? It was a fucking whiny little brat as thin as a fucking twig going, can I be a hero still, sir? It's like, no, kid, you have cancer. You can't do shit.
Well, no, it's Make-A-Wish kid asks All Might, "Can you be a hero?" Yeah, All Might puts a bandana on him.
All Might's like, yeah, you're a hero to me, kid. Yeah, but no, but like seriously, it's a kid who clearly hasn't put any effort into actually trying to meet the requirements to be a hero and just wants to be some sort of mystical kung fu fighter, but they don't have mystical kung fu fighting powers. And it's like, yeah, no, you can't be a hero. You should just go be a cop. And then on top of that, All Might, the reason why All Might also answers that way is that All Might has a massive amount of respect for cops because, again, they're not trained capital H heroes, but they're still going up to fight the villains anyway in the end. They still have to contend with incalculable number of quirky quirks that's just like, oh, you gotta remember that if his pinky finger touches his thumb, he explodes. So we gotta make sure that at all times his pinky finger can never touch his thumb. All while you're wrestling him and he's, thrashing against you, going for your gun. So,
like, I have to think that just like you're a normal beat cop. You're not even like a firearms officer because in Japan cops don't all carry guns, or at least they used not to when I lived there. Like,
I don't know about MHA. I don't know if they did or not.
Like,
I think most of them had something.
Yeah, I think they had some ranged options simply because of quirks being,
I would say,
but range could mean you have a stun gun. You don't have you don't even have like a 9mm. You don't even have like a freaking 38 snub nose.
That's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure most of them had the chained 38.
Yeah, I don't think a stun gun is actually applicable. So here's why tasers would actually see less use in the modern day of MHA. It's because there is so many quirk interactions that could happen with electricity.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you shoot someone, you know what happens when you shoot someone. Like that, it's not really a gamble of what happens when you shoot someone. They get shot.
Like the dude with the a poison gas ability, like a taser might actually spark that. Then congratulations.
Yeah, or they might look normal, but you shock them, and they have Nora Valkyrie as a quirk, and so they get super strength now that you've shocked them. It's like, well, that made it worse.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Look at the slime hero with the weird constitution. Yeah.
I would say it's one of those things. Like, sure, when you shoot a guy, maybe there's an off chance that he reflects bullets or can absorb momentum and get stronger, but there's way fewer problematic interactions with Shoot Man compared to Electrocute Man. Like Sneaky said, he's got Nora Valkyrie powers, or he can redirect electricity, or
actually, what if they're just like made of water and you tase them and you accidentally just killed a guy for
or not even that, what if they're they got a rabbit quirk or a hamster quirk and you tase them and their heart gives out, or there's just so many variations of like, oh, this person's quirk makes their bones really strong, but because their bones are really strong, they have hard time, their circulatory system suffers, and the electric shock just fucking kills them. It's like, wow, might as well just shot them at that
point. They're made of metal. Oops, and you electrocuted him. Good
job. It's like there's so many more bad interactions that can come out of introducing energy into a system than just shooting someone with a hole. I have now created a hole in you.
That hole could probably be pretty easy to patch up with their super tech. Actually, that could be a pretty interesting path. Just Hatsumi Mei and Izuku's quirk analysis. The two of them just working on non-lethal devices that are unlikely to have side effects.
I mean, in the modern day, we already have trauma foam in the modern day.
See, I thought the problem with trauma foam was that it could often lead to damage to the area of the wound and make the problem worse.
100%. But this is 300 years into the future with a bunch of quirks, with super intelligence quirks, with technology quirks, with so even if they did have a dark age, you're also now in a future where people are quite literally, oh, yo, my quirk is that my IQ is 500. It's like, oh,
And no
okay.
downside to it either.
Yeah, there's no downsides to it. My IQ is just 500. It's like, well, okay.
Actually,
Very well.
I remember in like the sports festival, it's not even like just May herself, but a bunch of mostly normal people that are actually devising these legitimately advanced pieces of tech, like
Yes.
jetpacks and
well, yeah, you got to keep in mind that May's quirk is she has a sniper scope in her eyes. That's her quirk. She has nothing that enhances her intelligence. She's just naturally that fucking smart. Because again, this is the other thing they kind of touched on, is that with so many generations of quirks going around with so much interbreeding, is that everyone probably has some sort of strength quirk in their family, some sort of endurance quirk in their family, some sort of intelligence quirk in their family. Even if it's like 7 generations off, the baseline has been raised so much by just everyone's background quirks mixing around.
I would say you just have to look at what the hell happens to Izuku.
Yeah.
To like the punishment that ostensibly normal human boy survives.
Yeah.
From Bakugo.
So yeah, no, it's just a case where things are so out there. There's probably 1,000,001 different cool things that we could have gotten instead of. By the way, Izuku has like 20 quirks now, and also later on we're just going to give him an Iron Man suit.
Yes. And that's why I hate MHA. Aside from all the political philosophy shit that the author fucking tries to jam in there, that sucks. But
I mean, they're Japanese.
Yeah. I won't hold it against them too much. It makes it even harder when you're taking care of orphaned, overpowered children, regardless. Okay. Well, they're not really orphaned children if he's the father. Regardless, he's not going to give up. With some grit, determination, and friends, he's going to achieve his dream of being a hero and taking care of the kids at the same time. Good for you, author, but, kind of a piece of shit. You've been captured by the Cape Slop. I can't imagine it's any harder being a cop taking care of kids. So it's kind of really a dick move for you to just be like, oh man, taking care of kids is so hard when you're a cop. It's like, there's hundreds of cops, thousands of cops do that every single day. Excuse you.
Like, and the thing is when you're a cop, you sort of get the worst of both worlds because you go off duty back to civilian life. There is no like support network. There is no you're gonna be famous. If you're lucky, there's like a copy.
If you're lucky, you're not famous.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, no. If you're famous, it's not for good reasons.
Yeah, there's almost never a good reason.
And so you're just absolutely screwed because it's shit pay with a brutal job. You're gonna give up a lot of your best years.
Yeah.
Just exhausting yourself every day. Everyone's going to shit on you. Everyone's gonna be pissed off at you. Everyone's gonna go, I can't believe you just fucking gave me a ticket because you could. And you're like, no, you're going 90 in a school zone. I'm gonna give you a ticket.
Yeah.
You should
and then to cap it all off.
But yeah, no, it's like this is just like this is what I was talking about, where it's like I can totally follow behind. I can totally get behind a story of an OC who wants to take care of some kids who are orphans because something happened near them and they were on call and their parents died. He feels responsible, so he's going to step up and take care of these now orphaned kids. He's not going to let the foster system fuck him over, and he's going to rise to the occasion against all odds. It's like, all right, that's just cool. I can totally get behind that sort of story. But just the way he's phrasing it of like, oh, it's so hard becoming a hero without a quirk, but I'm going to pursue that dream anyway while also having multiple kids rely their entire economic existence upon me while doing this incredibly dangerous thing. And also, they didn't have to do that. I just adopted them because I want to raise kids at the same time. It's so hard. My life is so hard doing this. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck
Like-
all the way off.
Yeah.
If there was at least sort of like an extenuating circumstances of this is why I had to do it, this is why I felt obligated to do it, da 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 da. But if you're choosing that, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, he is going to
"Oh,
achieve his dream of being a hero.
Like, that's sort of irresponsible to the kids then. Like, you're just being a shitty dad at that point. Oh, hey, you're a hero. Even if you're a good pro hero, guess what? You got stabbed in the throat one
Do you
day.
feel like
And
a
the dude
hero
had a
yet,
super
Ruby?
strength part, so it just instantly gives you.
Yeah, I know. Oh god, I fucking hate. There's every time I go to the MHA section, I find new ways to hate it.
I've read a few good MHA fics. Mostly ones that try to go canon, this is an interesting side thing I thought was cool, but the main focus of the story is usually along not like not fix, but stuff like, hey, this seemed a little silly. What if we treat this a little more honestly? I recall one where after All Might told him you can't be a hero, Izuku was like, okay, well, what's the next best thing? Oh, I want to be a cop. And so when he's being interviewed about the slime villain that attacked him, he asked the cop, well, what does it take to be a cop? And the cop is like, oh, do you want to be one? And he's like, well, I don't have a quirk, so can I even be a cop? And so it actually sort of like, hey, this is Izuku being proactive and trying to be something rather than
this
just
is
waiting
even
for it.
worse than we thought, by the way. This
Oh, no.
isn't OC. This is Izuku goes on to be a quirkless hero trope, and then also combined with the Izuku decides to dedicate his life to adopting orphans in an orphanage and raising them as a father figure / older brother. So it's not even like an adult who's financially stable enough to adopt a child. No, he's just kidnapping orphans and being like, I'm going to take care of you now. By the way, I don't have any money.
The orphans
He's
are
largely
free.
just
They're at the
Batman.
park. You could just take them.
The orphans, they're free. You can just take them.
Literally.
I've got 15 at home.
No.
Oh my god. I got
stop.
30
Yeah,
orphans in my
no.
basement.
God damn it, Sneaky.
You can tell a good MHA fic, or you can tell a good MHA story, but it's something you kind of have to go, well, I'm ignoring all of these parts of canon, so why am I even telling an MHA story?
I would say
last good
there's
MHA
plenty of
fic I
better
read-
superhero stories you can just go and tell.
Like the
Mhm.
last good MHA fic I would ever recommend was like the one that was basically an entire original arc.
Oh my
in and
god,
of itself.
it's not even, oh my god, it's not even like older Izuku goes on to try and become a hero and a father. It's
Oh.
quite literally 10-year-old Izuku gets told no by All Might and is like, no, I'm gonna go adopt some orphans now. Are you-
that
I'm
is-
out.
I don't even, like, I think his mom might object to that.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
would
no
think.
shit.
A little bit.
Like, she
Yeah,
wasn't a negligent mother. She was a pretty good parent from what I remember.
Oh, so where he gets all of his equipment from? Where he gets all of his Batman equipment from? He gets it from looting Dagobah Beach.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I
what?
could kind of see some of that. There was a bunch of shit down there, but
Oh,
congratulations, Trash Man. You now have the powers of a pile of crap.
like I'll be honest, I could buy the idea that like over like the course of years, Izuku was like salvaging bits and
Yeah, like
pieces
if
of
this
quirk
was like
tech.
a thing that as a kid, like he saw some cool tech and he like picked it up and tried to fix it and then broke it more and he's like, I'm gonna learn how to use tech to support tech to be a hero. Like
Or
again,
hell,
this is
maybe
this is it all boils down to every single path to making a good MHA story boils down to Izuku actually not being a fucking little shit at some point in his life. But it's kind of hard because basically his whole personality is being a little shit.
So yeah, it turns into MHA in name only, and if you're MHA in name only, why bother writing MHA?
There's basically no reason to write MHA. You could go write your own Cape Slop story and people will probably like it.
The last good MHA fic I would ever recommend was the Hero Class of War, and that was just a purely its own original
That was
arc.
such a
That was
good
it.
story. That was such a good story because the reason why the Civil War story was so good was because it was a narrow scope and it had a clear start and clear finish. They didn't try and go on and extend it further and further and further, and these are all the butterfly events, and now he's got a harem and blah, 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 blah. It was the start of the exam, the end of the exam. Done.
Yep, it was kind of what made it great. Is just that it knew what it was doing. It was its own original arc. It kind of made Izuku an actually solid and interesting character in that regard, where it played upon the original concept of My Hero Academia, where Izuku was supposed to be someone who was really smart, really observant, and they played that not only to a full T, but they played it creatively enough where it's like, this is what happens when you let this person lock in.
Yeah.
And he did that, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great story, yeah.
Yeah, no, like that seems to be the consistent agreement that I mean, hell, even the one I mentioned was literally just the dude goes on to become a cop rather than gets all the quirks and then loses all the quirks. Like that just
Man, this is cringe as fuck. Oh my god. So like each story, I think it's like, okay, this is the peak cringe we're gonna see in this fucking section. It's like all Emerald Starlight, an MHA story. I'm so glad they told us it was an MHA story. I didn't know that. I didn't realize we were in the My Hero Academia section. I'm so glad the author took space and time to tell us that we're reading a My Hero Academia story.
Huh, and here I thought we were in the Sky High section.
I thought this was Skyrim.
That was an enjoyable movie. It was a dumb movie, but it was enjoyable.
So anyway, Emerald Starlight. When a young hero who looks exactly like Izuku, but it's actually me, a self-insert, is accepted into Class 1A, then they experience an adventure where it defines what it means to be a hero. Again, lowercase h, so the cultural identity of a hero, not capital H profession. Especially when you want to be a rescue hero. Again, not capitalized for some reason, due to not wanting to hurt people, even villains. But your quirk is better suited for combat and your own personal struggles just keep getting in your way. So how does your personal struggles get in the way of you becoming a rescue hero? Also, you don't need a combat quirk to be a rescue hero. I mean, it definitely helps. Like it's really, really useful to have an actually usable quirk as a rescue hero so you can, be more useful than just a fucking cop.
Like, even that one kid who had, like, the quirk that made everyone fear him, the one who could, like, just by answering his questions, take control. He
Brainwash.
wanted to be a hero.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just a combat hero. Combat hero, not rescue hero. He could have been a great rescue hero, but yeah. But like fucking 13 creates black holes, and that's a very combat-oriented quirk, and she managed to be a rescue hero just fine. In fact, became one of the most popular heroes despite being a rescue hero. I don't
it's
really know how a combat-oriented quirk is getting in the way of being a rescue hero. Again, this is dumb shit. This is dumb shit by dumb people who can't think, and they think they're super deep of like, I want to be a person that helps other people, not fights other people. But my instant laser death eyes can only be used to kill people. Oh, my life is so hard.
Yeah, I was just bringing him up because it's like it's kind of clear in My Hero Academia. You can be either a combat hero or a support hero just by putting in the effort.
Yeah,
Like,
I
his
mean,
quirk
Actually,
to an extent, but yeah,
just putting in the effort is like how 90% of people are heroes. Because again, you got to keep in mind, like 90% of people in My Hero Academia, their quirks are not suited for combat.
yeah.
I'm
you're not
actually
wrong.
thinking like instant laser death eyes are probably one of the most useful rescue hero quirks imaginable. You could instantly get rid of debris, make sure that you can't have secondary collapses. Like,
Well,
I guess maybe if
I
you
mean,
had a
it
power
really
that was,
depends.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it really depends. I mean, you know, what if your laser eyes only work on biological things?
yeah.
exactly.
No, like you have to have really specific powers to not be able to make them do multiple things, though. And
Oh
aren't
yeah, no,
almost all
absolutely. But
powers?
it's like if you have an issue with you know, you got instant laser death eyes and it can only work on biological stuff, then maybe you should go do rescue work in areas where there's a lot of living things that are an issue that threaten people.
Actually, could you use those like laser death eyes to, like cut out cancer, like surgery and shit? But
Well,
no,
I mean,
I'm
there's
just
that too. I
maybe.
mean,
That
yeah,
would be
100%.
super
Like,
useful.
you
My Hero
don't know
Academia-
until you try. And, with
Yeah,
My
yeah,
Hero
like
Academia
they're not
clearly
trying to pick
shows that
you
you can
apart.
hone your shit. Yeah, no, I'm not. No, it's okay. You can pick apart the idea, but that's my point though. Is this author is just like, oh, my quirk is fated for combat, and it makes my life so hard because I do not wish to punch people.
Sir Punchington.
Go
wanna punch
fucking
people.
punch yourself, author. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like I
Kinda
think
disappointing.
MHA as a setting, the powers were so flexible that
Yeah.
everyone that has a quote unquote bad quirk, it also turns out that, oh, yeah, no, I just have this super awesome mega power that's basically can let me do anything so long as I'm smart about it. But it's so awful and I'm discriminated against because it's such a bad quirk.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
just like, what?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, part of
Like
that is the
Shinso, for
author
example,
wasn't
has
creative.
the most useful hero quirk possible. Hey, asshole, what's your name? Gives name. Okay, peacefully submit to arrest. Boom.
Yeah.
Every criminal
Yeah.
ever just got beaten.
Well, see,
Yeah.
the problem there
No,
is that he didn't want to do that.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that everyone's like, that'd be a good villain quirk. Meanwhile, the moment he showed up, I'm like, oh, he'd be insanely good for hostage negotiation, especially if they got him
Yeah,
to
yeah,
force
especially,
figure.
yeah,
Same
exactly,
stuff.
right? Like, holy shit, like, why are the police not kicking down his door to recruit him?
Like,
You're not wrong.
it's one of those things where it's like, the author
Hey, you
of
could even get a
MHA
cool name like the Negotiator. They're bringing in
Yeah.
the Negotiator.
Yeah, like, and he'd be the sort of thing where it's like, no one actually knows what his quirk is because it's integral to his success as a negotiator.
And
But
the thing
The
is,
fact that no one looked at this guy, none of the heroes, none of the professionals looked at him and said, wow, this kid's quirk is insanely useful because it literally just requires a single word of response and suddenly they're stuck.
Well, not only that, right?
Absolutely.
Like you give him a whole fucking course. You reconfigure his courses to be psychology, social interaction, and breakdown. You do the whole shebang, right? You get him certified and all of it, and that's how you hide what his quirk is. Where he has the whole conversation with them, and then right at the end he's like, please, just come out with your hands in the air and the hostage is freed. And then they do it. And everyone's like, oh my god, he's so good at negotiating. because he set up the whole thing to look like he's been negotiating with them the whole time, when in reality, he just been using his fucking quirk.
And the thing is, though, is he could save so many lives.
Yes.
It's one of those things that if this is a society where quirks are king, where
well, no, it's not quirks are king. It's flashy quirks are king, where the visual quirks are king, but not too visual. If you're too visual, if you are a mutant, aka a Gaijin, then you are outcasted from society.
The thing is, though, is that just doesn't comport. Like, if this is a society where everyone has to go, okay, we have to get along. We can't hit the undo button. Setting aside, like, the quirk singularity stuff.
Yeah.
But just, like, we have to get along with each other. Quirks that allow for seamless and painless resolution of incidents should just be immensely prized.
Not only that, you would think a government that is near dictatorial, that the government is depicted as in My Hero Academia, would be slobbering at the idea of his work. But instead, they sabotage him.
Which just doesn't make any sense. He is the guy the system wants. He is everything they need, and he has, like, no drawbacks.
So he's also the guy the system would fear inherently, because...
Which is why they would go after him while he's a child and give him everything he could possibly want. The fucking fattest paychecks, the nicest homes.
They had, like, their own, like, super soldier program or something, right? Like, wasn't
they
Fox,
did?
Like, a personal
Yes,
pet?
he was.
They literally could have just indoctrinated him into being a loyal...
Quite literally.
Yep, but as has been discussed, the author doesn't.
The author has a raging hate boner for the government, and that he is.
Fair.
The author is just Japanese Wildbow, okay?
Lamau.
Woo.
Complete with a completely unsatisfying ending to the story.
Actually, serious question. What is a worse ending than we're going to retcon an acceptable ending into worst possible
Hey
sequel
guys,
imaginable?
I've added an epilogue that ruins the really poignant ending of this story. The epilogue is that Izuku's putting fries in the bag.
Then he proceeded to make, like, an extra tag along to like see. No, he's still friends. He's still friends. He's still friends.
He's been abandoned by all of his friends, and his supposed girlfriend hasn't seen him in 5 years.
Why am I getting hate?
Why are people hating me? I'm Wild Bo. I'm gonna write a sequel story now, and they're all gay.
I saw like it was like a thread a while back on QQ how it was kind of commenting how it was just a case of just Japanese authorism.
Yes,
versus like
100%.
the very American audience not understanding.
It was a major issue in that again, it was one of those moments. It was a Tanya moment in where the Japanese author depicts the character in a certain way that the Japanese society signals certain things. But when you get to a Western audience, especially an American Western audience, the Americans fucking love the character, and the author's like, I don't understand. They're the most hateable character ever. Because they're a xenophobic asshole who doesn't understand that there is cultures besides Japanese that exist in the world, especially when they are publishing to the world. So again, it's one thing if My Hero Academia was a Japanese story published in Japan and never released outside, and then just had a bunch of like fan translations that got a bunch of fans, and they were like, fuck you fans, we don't give a shit about you. We're pandering to Japanese only here. But no, they translated it to English. They published the anime in English. They pushed all that shit out. They sold merch. You can't get angry when the American audience has a different opinion of your story.
The story was also heavily inspired by American stuff, right?
Yes, he was inspired by Marvel and DC.
it could have absolutely cemented itself as a like good big name in shonen.
Yep,
'Cause it started strong,
it did.
and again, the ending, the best point for it to end was All Might has his final fight with All for One, and when he says, "Now it's your turn," when he's talking about Midoriya and the next generation of heroes coming up, cut to 5 to 10 years later, and we get 3 chapters of
Yep.
Deku being the #1 hero, with Bakugo still being an absolute shitwad as he's trying to also get to the #1 spot. Like, it's I don't know why, but Shonen Jump is allergic to letting series have good ending points.
I think it's a Japaneseism.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys wrap things
Yeah,
up
yeah,
here,
we're gonna wrap it up here. Yeah.
but no, I just I gotta
Also,
say,
Yeah.
at least we got the good parts of it, and at least some
is
good
it.
stuff came out of it, right?
honestly, the best
Yeah,
thing to come out of
the
My
art.
Hero Vigilante was
Of course
the
you'd
best
say
thing to
that.
come out of MJ was the Vigilante side story, which wasn't written by the main author. He only consulted with the writer for Vigilantes.
That's
Vigilantes is legitimately a well-told story that does not overstay its welcome.
that's kind of depressing.
That happens from time to time still. Night, everyone.
Never
Yeah.
want to
All
see
right.
them spin off.
Good night, everyone, and make sure to come back on Friday, because